Good evening, everyone, from Lions Field in Sumrall, Mississippi. It's time for District 7 4A high school football action as the Sumrall Bobcats entertain the Richton Rebels. I'm Kelly Sanders. Zane Berry will be joining us momentarily, and we do know that one of the cameras is out. So if on your mobile device or computer at home you don't get a picture, it's not your computer's problem. We're working on getting the camera up and operating so that you'll be able to see the game. But in the meantime, good old-fashioned radio time, like it was back in the old days, where I'll try to paint a picture for you as to what's going on, and hopefully we'll get a picture that will reinforce it a little bit later on. The Rebels of Richton come in here with only one loss on the year. They are 3-1 and a 3-game winning streak under their belts, and the Sumrall Bobcats undefeated at 4-0. A win tonight would make them 5-0, obviously. The first time that has happened since 1987 when Neville Barr was the coach here at Sumrall. The Rebels to kick it away. It's a short pooch kick that is caught and then fumbled at about the 38-yard line. Sumrall covers it back up. And the Bobcats are in the highly heralded and long-awaited powder blue uniforms, very reminiscent of UCLA. White helmets, but powder blue shirts and powder blue pants, as they work from left to right here at Lions Field, or toward the high school, in the direction of the high school. And Dennis Jackson leading the way at quarterback in those beautiful powder blues, looking to the sideline as he has a receiver to the near side in Matthew Cronin. On 1st and 10, Jackson wants to throw, pump fakes across the middle, and Cronin went up for the pass at about the 42-yard line of the Rebels. It was broken up, incomplete. Zadarius Mitchell in the secondary there for Richton, who is also the quarterback of this Rebels team. He broke it up, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10, just underway tonight from Lions Field. There was a brief, light rain shower that came through about 6 o'clock tonight, 5:45, something like that. But looks like all the rain is away from us, so shouldn't be any problem from here on out. 2nd down and 10 for the Bobcats now. Man in motion, and they give it to the man in motion to the near side. Cutting it back up is Cocroft. Cocroft across the 45 up to about the 48-yard line. Looks like about an 8-yard pickup, a couple of yards short. And it'll be 3rd down and short for the Rawcats, looking to go 5-0 on the year. They stopped this, and now you've got your picture there going. And Sumrall will head to Pass Christian next week as we welcome in Zane Berry. Zane, you gotta be a team captain here tonight, huh?
That's right. That's right. I don't know if my mic's on.
Yeah, it is.
On.
Yeah, you're working well. 3rd and short. Tyreek Preston to the left side. Enough for the 1st down across the 50 down to the 48-yard line. Making the tackle is Bryce Overstreet, the junior defensive tackle for Richton. But that's a chain mover for Sumrall. Again, Richton, its only loss on the year came to the Columbia Wildcats in week 1. But the Rebels have racked up 3 straight wins, albeit against 1A and 2A schools. So 1st and 10 here for Sumrall. Again, it's a non-district contest, but Sumrall looking to go 5-0 for only the 2nd time in school history. Dennis Jackson can't find anybody open. He'll tuck it inside, cuts it inside the 30, down to the 25, the 20, and he is gang tackled and thrown out at about the 18-yard line. Nice footwork there by Dennis Jackson. Gets a 1st down deep into Richton territory here on the first series of the night for Sumrall. Ten minutes, 35 seconds left to go here in the first quarter, first series of the night. You see the camera up in the upper left-hand corner. Jackson out of the shotgun formation, gives it to Tyreek Preston, one of the captains tonight for Sumrall. Gets forward for a gain of about 2 or 3 down to the 15-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down upcoming now after the big play. I know the Sumrall Bobcat football players were really anxiously anticipating getting these powder blue uniforms, and they are in them tonight. Jackson rolls to his left, wants to throw. Tough play for the righty moving to his left. A second base slide down at about the 5-yard line, and a reception made there by Cocroft. Nice job by Gabe Cocroft, the junior. And that'll be a first down and goal for Sumrall now at the 5-yard line.
You know, Kelly, that was pretty good patience by Dennis Jackson right there, waiting on a man to come open.
And put it right where he had to in order for him to be able to make the catch and not be intercepted. So again, first and goal for Sumrall at the 5-yard line on the far hash marks in front of the Richton bench. These Richton Rebels seniors were all freshmen when Coach Chris Fortenberry of Sumrall was the head coach at Richton. Pass out into the left flat, diving toward the end zone, and into the end zone. That's a Bobcat touchdown. Tyler Daniels.
First career touchdown right there by the freshman.
And he's got a great career ahead of him, you would certainly think. Under the lights here now at Sumrall, the Bobcats didn't take long in hitting pay dirt on that drive. So Bryson Smith on to try to tack on the extra point, and then it'll be time for our Sumrall roll call, where you can text us and let us know where you're watching the game from tonight. Bryson Smith out of the hold of Marshall Phillips. A couple of freshmen out there trying to add this extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. With 9:29 left to go here in the first quarter, Sumrall leads Richton 7-0. Check in with us now at 601-310-7077. That's 601-310-7077. Let us know where you're watching the game from. The Bobcats on the web, sponsored by Sumrall Lawn Care. They've been in the business a long time, and they know what it's like to have a winning team go to work for you. Also, sponsors of our rock and roll trivia question is State Farm Insurance agent Stacy Clark Temple. We'll have our question for you in the second quarter. Grand Bank, sponsors of the halftime show, where you'll get to see the band perform tonight, and we'll be hearing from Lamar County District 5 Supervisor Dale Lucas, 15 years in that seat. He'll be joining us tonight with some exciting news about the soccer programs here at Sumrall. And we are aware that the video is frozen, and we're doing what we can to get you a live feed. But in the meantime, good old-fashioned radio, as we mentioned, just like they used to do it way before you were born, Zane.
I was about to say, I don't know anything about that.
You had to sit around the radio and just kind of hope that the guy told you what was going on. A short kick, fielded at the 22-yard line by the Rebels toward the near side of the field. They try to cut it to the other far side of the field, and not much room there at all. Down goes Zach Mills. And the Rebels will set up shop at about the 26-yard line, somewhere in that area. Again, a non-district game tonight, but other teams in the region. Lawrence County is at home tonight against Franklin County. Poplarville is at home hosting Heidelberg. Greene County is at home against Long Beach. In fact, all of the teams in District 7-4A have home games tonight. Forest County AHS looking for its first win of the night. They are hosting West Marion. And Mendenhall is at Purvis. We'll be getting you all the scores on the Primerica Financial Services scoreboard. Ready to throw this football down the far side of the field. Has a receiver open but incomplete. Colby Creel trying to zing that ball down the field for the intended receiver, Zadarius Mitchell.
It wasn't a bad throw. It just went right through his hands.
Yeah, and Mitchell was open, had beaten his man by about a step or two.
He had a couple steps on Gabe Cocroft.
Spider-Man is watching from Sumrall while babysitting. Well, that answers the question, where does Spider-Man actually live? Right here in Sumrall.
I've always wondered that.
From the 601 area code, 70, Raymond McRaney is watching the game tonight. He's down in Louisiana, I believe, somewhere.
We got
trying to run the football is Mitchell himself there, who on kind of a wildcat formation there. But he's stacked up after a gain of maybe a yard. It'll be third down.
You know, Kelly, I'm really excited to see this defense go against this electric offense of Richton.
Well, the Rebels, as we mentioned, 3-1 on the year coming in here.
They are averaging 30 points a game. So I can't wait to see our defense perform against this offense.
Forward progress, gain of about 3 on that play. So 3rd down and 7. Again, the starting defense for Sumrall has not given up a point yet this year.
We got an empty formation. Let's see.
Dylan,
hey, can he hold on to it?
Dylan Favre with the pass out into the right flat. It's complete, but no gain on the play. So the Sumrall defense, Solomon Lander was over in the area. So was Gavin Friend.
Nice defensive stand right there for the Bobcats.
So 4th down. Raymond McRaney is in Marrero, Louisiana. That's down in the New Orleans area.
We got old Tweeter returning the kick.
The punt is away. Barrett on the run at the 50, at the 40. Cuts it back inside the 40 down to about the 36-yard line. So a great return. And the Bobcats will get to work already leading in this game 7-0. And they'll have a short field here.
Bobcats will take over 1st and 10.
Again, in the powder blues with 7:41 left to go. The clock inset to the left side is accurate. All right, that is the accurate time on the clock. But we know that the game feed is frozen, and we're working on that for you. So 1st and 10 for the Bobcats. They're working left to right. As you actually see the frozen picture, that's the direction that Sumrall is working here on this series on 1st and 10. Tyreek Preston now shifted to the left of Dennis Jackson, and we've got a false start or an illegal shift for Sumrall. This will cost the Bobcats 5 yards. C.J. Broom is watching the ball game tonight from the 662 area code. He graduated in 2009 from Sumrall. High school, the best 7 years of my life. I went to high school for 3 terms.
You like it that much, huh?
Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, and George Bush. Those were the 3 terms I went to high school. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats. Dennis Jackson, an empty backfield. Quarterback draw to the far sideline, cuts it back inside. Jackson inside the 25, down to the 22-yard line. Dennis Jackson, the leading rusher so far tonight for Sumrall, takes that one down to the 22-yard line. Gain of 18, and that's a 1st down for the Bobcats again at the Rebel 22. So this Rebel offense really revved up tonight here. I know you guys have been talking about these powder blue uniforms all year long, Zane, and now
that's right.
Finally get them tonight.
Finally get them. I'm pretty hyped to wear them. Kind of sucks that I have to be up here instead of down there.
Dennis Jackson to Cronin out in the flat. He spins away from a couple of tacklers. Is finally dropped at the 5, but it'll be a 1st and goal for Sumrall at the Richton 5-yard line. Sumrall already leading 7-0 and wanting to add another one. So we've got now your live feed up in the you see the Bobcats looking toward the sideline to get a play called here with 6:52 left to go in the first quarter. Jackson with Tyreek Preston to his left. The give and the go to Preston. Plenty of blockers. And in. Did he get into the end zone? He did. Tyreek Preston is in. For a Sumrall touchdown. Tyreek Preston. So Sumrall 2 for 2 on offensive series. And on to tack on the extra point is Bryson Smith. So the Bobcats get inside the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone and convert on just a couple of plays. The placement's down, the kick is up, and the kick hits the right upright. It is no good.
And it's no good.
So 13-0 Sumrall. This reminder that though fall is football season, the pros at Sumrall Lawn Service are busy every season. Whether it's mowing, edging, tree trimming, or bush hogging, Richie and Jim Sumrall have over 20 years of experience making your lawn be something you can be proud of. Like the Bobcats on the field, Sumrall Lawn Care knows what it takes to win and how to make your home landscape a winner. Sumrall Lawn Care salutes Bobcat Graham Freeman and wishes him luck this season. Proud supporters of the Bobcats. Sumrall Lawn Care, sponsors of the Bobcat Red Zone.
Sumrall Bobcat football.
So the Bobcats will go to kick it off. Got that, we actually took the scoreboard camera that we had and just repositioned it. You all probably figured that out by now. But so we won't have the insert to let you know how much time is left. Again, like old school, I'll just let you know. First, the Rebels try to get it back on the return and get up to the 25-yard line before
James Ford.
they were swarmed under. So 1st and 10 for the Rebels, who have put up some big numbers, and they've got some good skilled people in quarterback Dylan Favre. He's just a junior, and he likes to throw it to Zadarius Mitchell, who's number 7 for the Rebels. The Rebels in those maroon pants and white shirts. To the near side is Connor Graham, the senior wide receiver. Again, the seniors on this Richton team were all freshmen when Coach Chris Fortenberry was the head coach there. The give and the go, right side to D.D. Griffin. D.D. Griffin breaks through. Griffin is caught from behind and brought down at about the 31-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle there by Darren Coney, it looked like, in the secondary. Coney was about the only guy quick enough to be able to track him down. So 1st and 10 for Richton. There you see some of the skill people for Richton and how the Rebels can get things going quickly. They have a 1st and 10 at the Sumrall 33-yard line. Bobcats lead it 13-0. And we have a heat timeout on the field. Coming up on the Grand Bank halftime show, we'll be talking with Lamar County District 5 Supervisor Dale Lucas. I mentioned he's been the District 5 Supervisor for 15 years, and they'll be talking about, among other things, the update of the soccer fields in Sumrall that will not only house the varsity team, but also some of the rec soccer teams here in Sumrall. That's coming up on the Grand Bank halftime show. Supervisor Dale Lucas. So the Bobcats in their UCLA powder blues. The difference in these uniforms and the UCLA ones, UCLA has more of an old gold, and this is...
Yeah, it's definitely a different tint of gold.
Which, back when I was a kid, they called that yellow. You know, for some reason, yellow doesn't exist anymore. It's always gold. 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Favre at quarterback calls for it and hands it off again. Up the middle to Bolton this time. Check that. That is D.D. Griffin again. Of course, it's not unusual in Perry County to have somebody named Bolton. That's quite a popular family name in Perry County. So 2nd down after the gain of 9 yards. 2nd down and 1. So the first really stiff challenge that this Sumrall defense has had all year. A Richton team that can really put up some big numbers with great offense.
Right here.
Favre wants to the far sideline, looking for his receiver. His receiver is there. Pass is caught in the corner of the end zone. That is a Rebel touchdown. And that is Jawan Bolton. I think that's Bolton. Let me...
Number 6.
Okay, that's Zach Mills.
Zach Mills on that reception for the Rebel touchdown.
So Mills, a touchdown, and alert the media. The
That's the
Sumrall
first
defense
one.
has been scored upon.
First one.
Boy, that's going to make him mad. You know that.
I know Coach Fortenberry.
You know.
He's getting heated up right now. This better be the only one tonight.
Penalty marker on the play.
Noah Laveri, the place kicker for the Rebels, wants to try to add this extra point, but Sumrall is offsides.
Offsides against the Bobcats.
So usually in this situation, they decline it and kick it again. So Noah Laveri, the senior place kicker. Richton is really loaded with a lot of seniors on this team. So you'd expect them to have some success this year at the 2A level, and it is declined. So LaVerre will try again here to half this Sumrall lead. The 13-7 differential. High snap, but the kick is up. Boy, that barely got there. And
the gummit.
just got over the crossbar. And it's 13-7. So Sumrall will get the football coming up. At the end of the game tonight, we'll be naming our Dandy Dan Chevron offensive and defensive players of the game. Dandy Dan Chevron in both Sumrall and Bellevue. Featuring a complete line of hot, fresh coffee every morning, whether they open at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. They're there for you, ready to get your morning off to a great start. Dandy Dan Chevron in Bellevue and at Sumrall across from the school campus. So they'll boot it away. Back deep for Sumrall, Hayden Barrett, Tyler Daniels, and Cocroft, but they haven't kicked it that deep up to this point.
By the looks of last kick,
Did kick it a little bit deeper this time, and that is Daniels, I believe. And it is Daniels, who has a touchdown reception, weaves his way through traffic and gets up to about the 37-yard line, where Sumrall will begin 1st and 10. And a Sumrall offense that has been high-powered tonight, running on all 8 cylinders, and has taken very little time putting up some big numbers. Leading at 13-7 with 4:52 left to go here in the first quarter. This ends a homestand for Sumrall. The Bobcats will travel to Pass Christian next week, where the Pirates will lay in wait. 1st and 10. Faking the handoff. Jackson will run it himself. A hurdle over one of the defenders. What a play by Dennis Jackson.
Kelly, I hadn't seen that before. I have not seen that before.
Well, he got way up there, didn't he?
No. Whew. My heart just dropped.
Who's the track coach at Sumrall?
Coach White.
Well, okay. Well, there you go. So Shannon White just found a new hurdler. If he didn't know that beforehand. Dennis Jackson with another big run. He's racking up some numbers already on the ground, Dennis Jackson is. Clock moving with 4:25 left to go here in the first quarter.
Play clock on 10. Looks like the Bobcats are going to call a timeout.
And they will take one to make sure that they don't go backwards here 5 yards. We talked about other games involving teams in the district. But other games involving school from Lamar County, there's only one other game tonight, and that is Mendenhall and Purvis. That's also Purvis, of course, in the district with Sumrall. But Sumrall and Purvis are the only 2 teams in the county playing tonight. Oak Grove is off, and Lumberton is also idle tonight. Looking at the District 7 4A standings, Sumrall leads the way with a perfect 4-0 record. Poplarville right behind at 3-1, but remember, this is all pre-district, okay? So these games don't count as to who goes to the playoffs, but it certainly is good for bragging rights and momentum. Sumrall 4-0. Poplarville is 3-1. So is Lawrence County. The Cougars off to a 3-1 start. Then the Greene County Wildcats at 2-2. Purvis 1-2. And Forest County AHS at 0-4. Purvis had a bye week. So 1st and 10 for Sumrall at the 35-yard line of the Richton Rebels, leading Richton 13-7. Dennis the Hurdler Jackson. They look to the sidelines. He's got Tyreek Preston split to his left, the bottom part of the screen. A couple of receivers, including Cronin, but throws it out to the left side. Daniels with that grab and is pushed out of bounds after the gain of about 7. So just working those sidelines and then running it up the gut. So 2nd down and 5. In the Bobcats' twice in school's history have been 5-0. First time was 1987 when Neville Barr was here, a team that did not lose until South State against Lake. Now they're running the sweep here to Cocroft. Cocroft finds blockers. Cocroft gets busted down at about the 12-yard line. Good lead blocks. Cronin was down there and laid a block out there for him. It's good to see a receiver put a lick on a guy there. So what do you think of these uniforms now? You like them?
I love them to death. Golly.
What if so you could probably go white pants with them as well, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to do that later on in the season.
They're very San Diego Charger-esque from back in the late 70s and 80s. They fake it to Barrett. Jackson will try to run it. This time he is gobbled up and dropped. A three-man tackle there by the Rebels, led by D.D. Griffin, who plays both ways as a linebacker and as a running back. So no dice there for Dennis. The clock says 3:34 left to go on it here in the first quarter. The Bobcats have now a second down play coming up. Sumrall has done pretty much all it has wanted to do, both offensively through the air and on the ground. But the Rebels showed that they can put up some points too. And again, the first time this year that the Sumrall defense, the starting unit for Sumrall, has given up any points. Preston to the left of Jackson on second down and 9. Good snap. Jackson was going to get it to Preston, but then pulled it away from him. It was not a clean exchange, but is able to get away from traffic to the right side and gets into the end zone for a Sumrall touchdown. Dennis Jackson.
I think Dennis Jackson puts butter on him before every game because they cannot wrap him up.
Quick feet. You can coach a lot of things, but you can't coach speed or quickness. I mean, you either tend to have it, you can fine-tune it, but you can't really coach it. So again, Phillips will hold it for Bryson Smith to try to make this a 20-7 lead, and there's still 2:55 left to go in the first quarter, but this is blocked. It is no good. So the special teams tonight for Sumrall have missed 2 extra points. And it really looks to me, Zane, like Richton is really getting in there quickly on kicks.
Well, I was about to ask you, is it just me or did it look like the far wing on that side came way before we even snapped it?
And the Sumrall assistant coaches were making their plea to the officials saying exactly that they're getting across the line much too early. One of our sponsors is Hattiesburg Clinic Children's Clinic. They're committed to the care and well-being of your child from birth to adolescence. Children's Clinic is open daily and offers immunizations, monitors your child's growth and development, and treats a wide range of childhood illnesses. Call 601-261-3500 to schedule an appointment, or HattiesburgClinic.com on the World Wide Web. HattiesburgClinic.com, Children's Clinic, care you need for the children you love. So Bryson Smith to kick it away here, a 19-7 Sumrall lead. And it's a low liner that will be snagged at the 10-yard line. Zadarius Mitchell kind of going half speed, waiting for some coverage to set up, but he is dragged down at the 25-yard line. Great special teams play there by none other than Ashanti Cocroft. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rebels with 2:45 left to go here in the first quarter. I'll be interested here, Zane, to see how this defensive unit responds now after actually giving up, for heaven's sakes, some points.
They've never really given up any points this year, so we very anxious to see how they respond right here.
And if the starting unit defensively gets to play a whole game, because they've really been sent to the sidelines very early in most of the games prior to this one because of the lead that they've had. So 1st and 10, Rebels back to work with Favre at quarterback. He's a junior. It is spelled and pronounced obviously the same way as another Favre that you may have heard about. He's been in all the papers, Brett Favre. Run over the right side and a gain of about 7 on the play. So second down. We got a penalty marker down there at about the 41-yard line.
We got another one.
Sideline warning, it looks like, on the Rebels over there. You know, there are painted areas and lines that the players and coaches are supposed to stay within, because you've got chain gang, you've got the safety of the chain gang you have to worry about. You've got, you know, trainers and managers, and
they emphasize it a lot, too, while you're down there.
Medical personnel. You have to try as best you can to secure the safety of everybody there. So, again, the Rebels get a sideline warning. No yardage on that penalty. That's a warning, but if it happens again, they will be penalized. 2 minutes, 21 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Sumrall leads Richton 19-7. Sumrall looking to go 5-0. And now the Rebels call a timeout. And I think that Coach Stephen Rice, who was on the field talking to the White Hat, you see him down there at about the 21-yard line, kind of wants an explanation as to what maybe that was all about or what he can and cannot do. So, Zane, what's up with you medically? Are we getting ready to go? What do we know at this point?
You know, I practiced Wednesday and Thursday of this week, and I was trying to dress out a little bit this game, but Coach White said it'd be best if I just took this week off again, because if I'm dressed out, he's going to want to put me in there. So maybe next week I'm going to dress out and I'm going to play a little bit.
And then the serious business of District 7 4A play starts.
I think that's what everybody's mind's on right now with me coming back.
4 teams make the playoffs in the district, and there's 6 teams in the district, so you would certainly hope that Sumrall would be one of them, and it would not surprise me, and this will drive coaches nuts when they hear this, it wouldn't surprise me if Sumrall and Poplarville are both undefeated in the district when they wind up playing each other in Poplarville in late October. The heat timeouts that have been implemented during the months of August and September will go away soon as we get to the month of October. So the Rebels break their huddle with 2:21 left to go, trailing Sumrall 19-7. To the near side is Colby Creel. He's a senior wide receiver. Again, Favre at quarterback. And he gives it, but short of the first down. Zadarius Mitchell is about a yard short. Nick Eccles with the tackle for Sumrall. So a 3rd down and short coming up here. Clock moving with 1:55 left to go here in quarter number 1 on a pleasant night here in Sumrall and northwestern Lamar County. And the Rebels have got to burn another timeout. They were completely confused. They were strong to the right side, but a little bit too strong where they didn't have enough players to the left side of the center. So that is something that they've got to get to work on. College football this weekend. Southern Miss was supposed to play at Appalachian State in Boone, North Carolina, but that's in the west central part of North Carolina, which is being inundated with rain from the Hurricane Florence. So that game was canceled. If they play that game, it might not be until December and would probably be predicated on if either team needed a win to get a bowl invitation or not. That was kind of the last word. Ole Miss is playing, let's see, who are they playing tomorrow?
I think everybody knows right now.
Yeah, Ole Miss and Alabama will do battle up in Hotty Toddy Land. That's tomorrow night about 6 o'clock. And
well, what's your output on that game?
Who do I think is going to win?
No, what do you think the score differential is going to be? I know you can think.
Alabama will have too many, and Ole Miss will have too few. It is 3rd and 1.
And it looks like they'll do a quarterback sneak right here.
Yes, Favre gets the first down across the 35, actually up to about the 38-yard line. Nice surge by the Richton offensive line. Nets the first down, and that's a chain mover. With 131, what's the spread? 21 points, something like that, I think is.
I believe so.
But if there's a team really don't really have any skin in that game, but if there is an SEC team that has pretty good success against Alabama on their home field, it has been traditionally Ole Miss.
You know, I saw in the last 5 seasons, Alabama's lost 3 SEC games, 2 of them being to Ole Miss. Ooh.
Favre with a great pass across the middle. It's caught by Zach Mills, but he got stuck immediately as soon as he made the catch by Nigel Coleman. Coleman drilled him, but it's enough for a first down.
Richton putting a nice little drive together right now.
Well, you guys talked about in practices this week about how the Rebels can put up some big numbers, and yeah, they've won 3 in a row, but have played smaller schools. So that's, sometimes can be jaded, but you're seeing that Favre throws the ball with some pretty good zip. 45 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Favre on the handoff, nothing to the right side, so darting back is D.D. Griffin. D.D. Griffin back for a gain of about 5. Again, Eccles in there on the tackle for Sumrall. Looks like the Quack Attack was in there as well. Carson Duck back in the lineup. Boys, Zan, I'm seeing some of these cars you guys are driving around in. I mean, Quack's got him a pretty nice ride, doesn't he?
Quack's got him a nice one.
Yeah, and
a little convertible.
Nigel Coleman, I think, has got a Camaro.
And a Camaro.
Man.
Cherry red.
Yes, indeed. Actually, so is Duck's Mustang.
So is Duck's.
Right? Got one of the Bobcats across the line a little bit too early. So how unfair is this that you high school guys are driving around brand new Mustangs and Camaros, and I'm driving around a Toyota Corolla that's about 10 years old? Life's just not fair, man. It's just not fair.
I can't tell you how it is because I'm not where you are yet.
And very few people get to where I am or want to. That's enough for a first down, but we've got the end of the first quarter.
It's the end of the first quarter. Solomon Landrum checking back into the game. He didn't play the whole first quarter.
Well, he's in there now with some fresh legs.
That might give a little boost to this defense.
Well, he can't be too happy that they gave up a point there. Landrum, one of the senior leaders of this team. 19-7. Sumrall leads it. Trying to shut down. And Sumrall's offense has been pretty potent here. West Marion is leading Forest County AHS 12-0 in the second quarter as we check the Primerica Financial Services scoreboard. West Marion at Brooklyn tonight, leading 12-0. Poplarville and Heidelberg are scoreless. Purvis has jumped ahead of the Mendenhall Tigers tonight, 8-0, and no score yet on Franklin County and Lawrence County. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Primerica Financial Services. So they changed directions. The Rebels will now work left to right, or direction-wise, I'm trying to think, that would be west to east.
That's right.
Favre wants the football, gives it to Griffin. Griffin ahead for a gain of about 5 or 6. So a good surge again by the line.
21, D.D. Griffin on the carry.
Justice Hanberry on the tackle for Sumrall. And I thought of a really nice poster. You have Justice on there, Justice Hanberry, and I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Hair.
Hand off, but this time the Sumrall Bobcat defense clogs it up. No gain on the play. And Solly Landrum there on the tackle, shutting down D.D. Griffin. So 3rd and about 6 coming up. But have a picture of Hanberry like rushing the quarterback.
Yeah.
And then underneath it would say, and justice for Raw. Like Sumrall.
Yeah.
Like justice for Raw.
I like that.
Anyway,
I like that.
I thought it was a good idea. 3rd down. Here we go for the Rebels. Favre wants to throw. He's got time. Lofts it toward the sideline, and it's over the head of his intended receiver down there along the sideline. Connor Graham was the intended receiver, but Nigel Coleman was in the area, but a penalty marker's down. That's usually a hold, which might explain why he had so much time in the backfield. But no indication yet. Of course, if it's against the Rebels, the Bobcats most certainly would decline it because that was a 3rd down play, a 3rd down and about 5. 10:54 left to go here in the second quarter. It's a personal foul against Sumrall. So that's going to be a first down.
Is that an unnecessary roughness?
Well, he just said it could have been in the hand of the face of the quarterback, or Just personal foul is all the indication we got. So the Sumrall defense held the Richton offense. But with that penalty, moves the Rebels down to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Again, Dylan Favre, the junior quarterback, takes it, tries to string out the Bobcat defense, is able to get away from one tackler, but then plunges ahead for a 2 or 3 yard gain, depending on where they spot it. So 2nd down for the Rebels. Checking out of the ball game for Sumrall is Justice Hanberry. Caden Greenwood coming in. The Bobcats are at the point in their program now where they're deep enough at certain positions to where guys can get in and out. They can keep some fresh legs in there all the time. Boy, you look at Cole Daniels. Is he a monster to the near side of the field?
He is.
Not wearing the bright orange kicks this week.
He's not. I have no idea what cleats he's wearing.
Going a little more subtle today. 2nd down and about 7. Favre wants to throw. Under pressure, that ball is tipped, but caught by Malcolm Hinton, or is that Mitchell in the corner?
That was a number. That wasn't Mitchell, I don't think.
Okay. Well, then it was
number 1.
Yeah, it's Malcolm Hinton. That's what I thought, but
you know, that 1 kind of looks like a 7 at sometimes.
Bring up 1st down and goal to go for the Rebels.
Actually out of the tight end position there. It is 1st and goal
There's
to go.
A flag.
Yep. And this is a false start against Richton. 9:58 left to go here in the 2nd quarter. Sumrall leading Richton 19-7. We've heard from Raymond McRaney in Marrero, Louisiana. Where are you tonight watching the ball game? 601-310-7077. 601-310-7077. Hey, we didn't mention either that Mississippi State is hosting Ooh La La tomorrow, University of Louisiana Lafayette. That's a 6:30 game up at the Cow Palace in Starkville. 9:58 left to go in the quarter. Favre wants the football. Hands it left side to Dede Griffin, who starts to the left and then darts back to the middle. But he runs right into Cole Daniels. Also there on the play, Nick Eccles. So no gain. So 2nd down. And remember, they've got to go into the end zone or it doesn't do them any good.
I know.
So
by the looks of their field goal kicker, I wouldn't put my hopes in him.
You probably just hurt his feelings, Zane.
I'm sorry.
You're judging. Sorry. You don't even know that guy.
I'm sure he's a great guy.
9:20 left to go. Favre on the give and go again to Griffin, and he runs right into Cole Daniels. Bad mistake. Also there giving help was the Quack Attack. He was there ready to help him. Although Cole Daniels doesn't need a whole lot of help. So 3rd down and goal. Tyreek Preston ready to come back in offensively, but Darren Coney in the secondary for Sumrall tonight was also in the area. Clock moving with 8:47 left to go. As you see the live stream on our YouTube channel, you can follow us at Sumrall Athletics. Just about every social media format, it's Sumrall Athletic. Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, all of those. And the Rebels burned their final timeout. Their 3rd timeout of the half. They've already used it, so from here on out, they're done. So the Rebels come to the sideline. One of our sponsors, and we'll be having our rock and roll trivia question for you here very shortly. It's not just a home or a car, it's the 6 months you save for your HD flat screen just in time for football season. And the overtime you work for that 3rd car so your team can drive themselves to practice or school. While other insurance companies just see them as a bundle or combo, State Farm insurance agent Stacy Clark Temple sees your home and car as things you work really hard for. Stacy Clark Temple understands what your things really mean to you and is here to help you give them the protection they deserve. Talk to State Farm insurance agent Stacy Clark Temple in Sumrall for your home and auto insurance today. So here we go, a big 3rd down and goal play here for the Sumrall defense. Do they blitz here, Shane? Zane, thinking that they might pass here?
Yeah, I'm expecting a pass right here, so they might come heavy. Devin Goolsby creeping up.
Favre throws it out into the right flat, but not getting to the end zone is Zadarius Mitchell. He made the catch. So it's a 4th down play now coming up. 4th and goal from about the 3-yard line. They're watching,
looking for a big stop right here.
They're watching in Baytown, Texas tonight from the 830 area code.
Okay.
Loving the quack attack, they said. So he's having a good game tonight. Regardless of the game he has, Carson Duck's going to look good anyway, right?
That's right.
4th down and goal to the quarterback. Favre strings out the Sumrall defense and gets in for the Rebel touchdown. Kind of a stretch play there where the quarterback decided to keep it himself. And the Rebels are in the end zone.
2 times in one game.
We can joke and say that that's unacceptable.
That is unacceptable.
But again, a Richton team that has averaged 35 points a game, so you know that they can put them up.
That's right.
Favre will hold it for Noah Laveri to try to make it a 19-14 game. It's that skyrocket kick, and it's good. With 7:40 left to go in the second quarter, it's Sumrall 19, Richton 14. So we'll have the kickoff coming up here in just a moment. The Bobcats know it's important to get a quick start, and so too your friends at Dandy Dan's Chevron in Bellevue. Whether it's their complete line of fresh, always hot coffees to Miss Betty's sausage and egg biscuits, Dandy Dan's in Bellevue has your quick start covered. For lunch, how about checking out the special plate lunches at Dandy Dan's Chevron in Bellevue? The smiles are always warm and the drinks ice cold. Proud supporters of Sumrall football and all the local schools, Dandy Dan's in Bellevue on Highway 589. Sponsors of the offensive and defensive players of the game. Kick to the short side of the field, taken by Barrett. Barrett coming down the sideline, getting away from some more tackles. Look at Barrett. Hayden Barrett is no bigger than a minute, but has the heart of a lion and gets up to about the 50-yard line. So that's where the Bobcats will get back to work offensively with half of a field here. I think you talked about last week about how Hayden Barrett is a gym rat. There's not an ounce of fat on that kid.
No, you can't see from the camera right now, but that tight jersey on him right now makes him look a little bigger.
And such quick feet too, man. What a great weapon to have offensively. So Jackson and company working right to left with 7:28 left to go in the half. And Sumrall now leading 19-14. They put Cocroft in motion to the right side, and they hand it to Cocroft out to the far sideline. Gets up for a gain of about, 12 or so to about the 40-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down. The offense has looked terrific tonight. And at different times, the defense had made big plays, but then had untimely penalties. Daniels with a touchdown, and Dennis Jackson with a touchdown. Marshall Phillips, rather. I kind of combined the two freshmen there, didn't I? Marshall Phillips in, and Gabe Cocroft out of the game. Phillips now split left. Jackson gives it right up the gut to Tyreek Preston, who follows his blockers to the left side over the line down to about the 34-yard line. Well, Sumrall is so talented in so many different positions, and again, it doesn't all have to rest on one player. You got Tyreek Preston that can run the ball, and you're seeing the emergence too of Coney as a runner for Sumrall. Several different guys can carry it. The freshman wide receiver Tyler Daniels, you're calling his name more often. We've talked about Marshall Phillips and Cruz Freeman. Those are two freshmen, but it all starts up with that offensive line. Dennis Jackson. Little swing pass out into the flat. That is caught by Cronin. And Cronin with the catch and gets ahead to the first down. Old Tweeter's Uncle Ernie is called in again tonight. So it's an official Sumrall ball game now that Uncle Ernie's on board. So they move the chains. John Failer looked like he got tangled up there with one of the Rebels there. John Failer won't back down from a fight. One of the Sumrall Bobcat teammates had to pull him away. This is a busted play that Dennis Jackson will try to make something happen. And he did, as he got pushed out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Making the touchdown-saving tackle was Zadarius Mitchell.
This is the second busted play tonight that Dennis Jackson has corrected.
And remember, Dennis committed to Ole Miss as a wide receiver. But when the injury to Grandpa Garrity happened, then Jackson got pushed into service as the QB.
He's also a Under Armour All-American wide receiver, and they'll be doing his presentation October 1st at the school.
Well, that'll be fun.
It's pretty cool.
Apparently my phone isn't working because I didn't get the invitation to that, Zane.
No, it's a surprise party. I just forgot to tell you right now.
Okay, Tyreek Preston on the handoff up the middle. Dives inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line.
Tripped up by number 1, Malcolm Hinton for the Rebels.
So
Gain of about 4 on the play. Bring up second down is 6.
Hayden Pettigo in there on the offensive line for Sumrall. John Failer also in there. Looking at that right side, Christian Clinton. Big young in there over on the right side. Fakes the handoff and then throws it out into the left flat, and Tyler Daniels slipped on the turf at about the 6. Clock moving with 5:24 left to go here in the second quarter. Sumrall leading Richton 19-14, but Sumrall on the move again. Well, if we were naming a fan of the game, it'd have to be Uncle Ernie, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. The past 2 weeks.
Although I think the first time we've had a text from Baytown, Texas.
That is.
Loving the quack attack down in the Lone Star State. Fakes to Cockcroft. Jackson keeps it himself. Can't find anything in the middle. And almost there, Zane almost got a little bit too cute. Instead of running it north and south, he went east and west and got trapped and tackled at the 5-yard line. So here comes the beef. Look at the right side of your screen. As here they come into the picture. 1, 2, 3.
We hadn't seen this since maybe the second game.
Some serious beefola into the ball game here for Sumrall, as the Bobcats apparently will go for it on 4th down and about 3. Timeout with 4:20 left to go in the second quarter. Sumrall leading Richton 19-14. Don't forget that the Bobcats will be on the road next week. Our longest road trip of the year, this particular year.
Yep.
We'll be down at Pass Christian. And then district play starts. You've got the likes of the Purvis Tornadoes and the Battle of 589. That's always fun.
That's definitely fun.
The Forest County Aggies over in Brooklyn. The Wildcats of Greene County come here. The Bobcats will travel to Lawrence County, where geography teacher Zane Berry knows full well that Lawrence County is located in
Monticello.
That's correct.
Monticello. The only reason why I know that is because my grandma lived right beside their football field in Monticello. That's where my whole dad's family's from. They all live in Monticello. So I'm gonna have my own little section when we play Lawrence County.
Oh, Zane, everywhere we go, you have your own little section. You know?
I know.
But you can't help it, right?
That's right. I can't help it.
All right, 4:20. Solomon Landrum is in there as a fullback. Now they shift to the right side. Dennis Jackson under center. Maybe they're going to try to get the Rebels to jump here. And that looks like what they were trying to do. And the Rebels weren't going to go for it, so Sumrall burns another timeout.
I believe that was their third of the night.
So now decision time. I don't see why you don't go for it.
I put our regular offense out there. They've been explosive all night, making big plays.
I mean,
all they need is 5 yards.
It would essentially be an extra point, but still, they can get a first down without getting into the end zone. You see the chain gang over there on the right side That one chain is at about the 3-yard line, so they can get another first down without taking it into the end zone. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to go. Sumrall looking to be written into the athletic history books here tonight in Sumrall. The Bobcats go 5-0, only the second team in school history to do it.
You know,
First time it was done was 1987.
I bet Richton brings the house right here.
Well, with the size of some of those guys on the defensive line, those would be
mansion.
They are really definitely bringing the California mansions. Dennis Jackson fakes the handoff, now throws to a man diving to the end zone. The ball is loose. Is it a pass complete? It is. They have not ruled.
They ruled him down.
But if he's down and that the ground caused the fumble, that would be enough for the first down at about the 1. So they'll have to sort this out. Did he throw it to, was Landrum in there as a receiver?
You know, I don't know.
Or was it Cronin maybe?
I thought that was Matthew Cronin.
Okay.
But I might be wrong. Yeah, Matthew
It was Cronin. Cronin's a pretty big kid.
He is.
It is a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
He can move pretty well, too.
So not for the touchdown, but got the first down and easily into the end zone. Tyreek Preston for a Bobcat touchdown. So the Rebels have yet to be thwarted offensively tonight. You like that word, thwarted?
I do.
Zane?
I do.
Went through the dictionary today, and I said, what word could we use tonight?
You know, I was noticing your lingo is pretty wide.
Well, unfortunately, it's not the only thing that's wide on me, but you'll get there maybe someday. 4:02 left to go. Now the Bobcats are going to try to recoup some of the extra points that they missed by going for 2 here. Preston again to the left of Dennis Jackson. Strong side left. Jackson will follow his blockers and get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So with 4:02 left to go in the second quarter, the Bobcats lead at 27-14, and we'll have the kickoff for you here in just a moment. Coming up at the end of our game tonight will be the Dandy Dan's Chevron Offensive and Defensive Players of the Game. Boy, Nick Eccles is making a bid for Defensive Player of the Game.
Right.
He's already had a good game tonight.
And
offensively, Dennis Jackson has already won it. And all things being equal, I mean, he could get it again. But still a lot of football left to be played. Sumrall looking to go 5-0 and lead Region 7 4A. When it comes to playoff time, we mentioned 4 teams in the district go to the playoffs. The top 2 finishers get to play at home in the first round.
I know.
Which that's always huge from a financial standpoint too, because of the gate, the money that the MHSAA doesn't take, which is a significant chunk, and I will just leave it at that. But still, you'd rather have that game than not. From the 601 area code, Gary and Kim Dean's grandson, Peter Maxwell Bennett, the newest Bobcat, born at 4:40 this afternoon. The Rebels bobble the return and then get plowed under at the 10-yard line. Nice job by the Bobcat defensive special teams. Tate Davis, a name we keep hearing on special teams. Tate Davis on the stop. So Peter Maxwell Bennett, born at 4:40 this afternoon, is already watching Sumrall Bobcat football.
That's what I like to hear right there.
The newest member of the Bobcat family. Hope that he and Mom are doing well. 3:53 left to go here in the second quarter. We've got our rock and roll trivia question coming up for you here shortly. Brought to you by State Farm Insurance agent Stacy Clark Temple. It's usually dealing with rock and roll, but tonight, since we're at a football game, we're going to ask you a college football question. On the sweep, Dee Griffin looking for some blockers, trying to stretch out the Sumrall defense, but again, the Bobcats shadowed him pretty well. Looks like Gavin Friend was over there to get a hand on him. And Goolsby also in there with 3:40 left to go. I think they're just now maybe going to take the heat timeout. Well, while we get this opportunity, Let's ask you our State Farm trivia question dealing with college football tonight, Zane.
Okay.
Do you know what the oldest university in the U.S. is? Would you perchance? You might know this one.
Yeah, I mean, I have a guess.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna say it until
Well,
you say
no,
the
go ahead.
answer.
No, because that's not the question.
Okay, that's not the question.
Yeah. Do you
You
know
know-
the oldest university founded by Thomas Jefferson, who
I
was a
was
U.S.
gonna-
president? You know.
I was gonna go with Notre Dame.
A good guess, but not right. It's the University of Virginia.
Okay.
The University of Virginia is the oldest Division I institution in this country, founded, as we mentioned, by former President Thomas Jefferson. What is the second oldest school? And it is not Notre Dame. But it's another one of those schools, uppity schools on the eastern seaboard there somewhere.
I know.
The second oldest.
Maryland, maybe?
No, that's a good guess. The second oldest institution in the United States, that is our Stacy Clark Temple State Farm Insurance trivia question of the night. 3:28 left to go. The Rebels have a 2nd down and 8. Favre fakes the handoff, but before a play can develop, a flag comes in. And we've got a false start on the Rebels, so they've got it stuck in reverse. I'll give you a clue.
All right.
And this probably would give it away.
All right.
The name of this school is the name of a man followed by the name of a woman. The second oldest college in.
Oh, I know this. No.
Go for it.
William and Mary.
That's it. William and Mary is the correct answer.
They took off the Ole Miss Rebels not too long ago in the regionals in baseball. That's the only reason why I know that school.
William and Mary, the second oldest institution behind the University of Virginia. Our trivia question brought to you by State Farm Insurance agent Stacy Clark Temple. A first down for the Rebels along the far sideline. Gets the football up to about the 21-yard line. Now, we don't think that either team has any timeouts left. There's 3:01 left on the clock. 3rd down and about 2 upcoming for Richton. Checking out of the ball game is Carson Duck. Darius Fairman in the secondary now for the Raw Cats. Coney playing full-time now in the defensive secondary for Sumrall. He can fly. We've learned that. 3:01 left to go. Favre will go under center this time for the Rebels. Tries to bulldoze his way right straight ahead, and the whole scrum moving that direction.
Looks like he'll be right at the first down marker.
So depending on the spot here.
Being a quarterback, that would have to be the worst play. You just taking hit after hit.
Yeah, but at least you got some of your big wide body friends in front of you, trying to pave the way for you. It is enough for a Richton first down. Clock moving with 2:44 left to go here in the second quarter. Coming up on the Grand Bank halftime show, Lamar County Supervisor Dale Lucas will be joining us. Michael Clinton is watching from Angleton, Texas. So the state of Texas tonight, well represented. Favre wants to throw, has his receiver, Zadarius Mitchell, who cuts it back to the middle part of the field and is wrestled down at about the 32-yard line. Mitchell brought down by Ford and Coleman. Now remember, Ford is just a freshman. So a lot of these names that you're talking about that are starting for Sumrall, notice how it's a good mix of old and new. So the talent cupboard for Sumrall, as each year goes by, getting more full at each class, 205 and moving. First down for Richton. The Rebels have it at their own 33. Favre on the handoff. This is D.D. Griffin. Griffin is torn down by the quack attack. Carson Duck read it from his linebacker position, came in and put him down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. I saw Duck in his new wheels the other day, and I asked him, I said, can I get my picture taken standing next to your car for my Christmas card pictures?
I heard you.
Yes.
He said, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So.
He said, don't touch it. But you can.
Well, I'm expecting one of those cards.
Yeah, for sure. 1:24 left to go. It is a 2nd down and 10 now. Favre looking to this side, zings it, and this pass is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Zach Mills. Fairman and Coney were in the area. and might have been able to get a hand on it if they'd have known it was coming as quickly as it was. The incompletion stops the clock with 1:14 left to go. Ford checking out of the ball game here for Sumrall on a 3rd down and 10. Sumrall leads this game 27-14. Glad to have Angleton, Texas checking in tonight. Favre again tries across the middle this time and
nice
hits.
bat down.
Yeah, it was in the only people in the area was Ashanti Cocroft and the Quack Attack were both over there. Cocroft did some quick push-ups there. Is there a story behind that?
I think that was just self-motivation right there because he
Okay.
missed that interception.
So he punished himself.
He punished himself.
I gotcha.
I believe. I don't know.
No,
I mean,
but
you know, I've been out for 3 weeks.
oh yeah, but you talk to these guys, man. So back in punt formation is Hayden Barrett,
14 in the air, back to punt.
the dynamo. Oh, and they fake it, and we're going to try to go for it on 4th down, but it looks like they got in their own way, and this is a illegal shift on the Rebels. So that'll be a 5-yarder, march them back even further, and now that will alert the Sumrall defense to be on their toes.
I could tell something was a little fishy out there with the way they were. There really wasn't a gap for the snapper to snap it.
1:08 left to go. So it'll be interesting to see how aggressive the Bobcats get with 1:08, and again, according to our records, the Bobcats have no more timeouts. This is a punt that was shanked, and Barrett tried to field the ball. He may have touched it, and it's live. It is, and the Rebels have recovered it. Oh no!
Bobcats touched the ball and the Rebels recovered.
I think it was Torren Hinton that recovered the fumble for Richton. And just like that, when the Bobcats looked like they might be able to get some more points on the board with 58 seconds left to go before the half, now the defense, who just had a quick breather, has to check back into the ball game for the powder blue Bobcats.
Dennis Jackson checking in at cornerback, or at defensive back.
You can always watch the Bobcats online on our YouTube channel and follow the Bobcats on all formats of social media at Sumrall Athletics. Favre at quarterback. Can't find anybody. Now he'll tuck it and run it himself, and he's got some room. Alertly cannot get out of bounds, though. Nice job by Sumrall's defense and Ashanti Cocroft to keep him in the inside the field of play so that once the chains move along that far side, the clock will start again.
The 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Ball on the Bobcats 39-yard line.
So we'll see if now he spikes the football to stop the clock. That must be born into the Favre knowing how to spike it there to stop the clock.
He spiked that pretty aggressively, if you ask me.
41 seconds left to go. Richton 3-1 coming into this game. And the Rebels for years were known as a basketball school and found it great difficulty getting any traction other than in basketball. But then a guy by the name of Jacoby Jones comes along, who's a pretty decent baseball player.
Yep.
Poor guy is stuck playing for the Detroit Tigers, who are terrible. But Jacoby's up there now. Favre wants to throw across the middle, looking for his receiver down at about the 10-yard line, and that draws a flag. Gabe Cocroft was in pass coverage in the secondary along with Nigel Coleman. And this will go against Sumrall, it would appear. They're camping in Baytown, Texas, Zane. We didn't get invited to that either.
I know. I'm kind of upset right now.
I'm not a big camping fan unless they can, cater the food in. Or,
I'd rather sleep in air conditioning.
Yeah, I learned Hurricane Katrina taught me that. I'm not near as tough as I thought I was. It is against the Rebels, or against the Bobcats, rather. The Rebels have the football at the Sumrall 24-yard line.
With that penalty, he'll stop the clock, too, correct?
Sumrall leading 27-14. Favre lost this one toward the end zone, and it is intercepted, but wasn't in bounds. Nigel Coleman snagged it, but it looks like he was out of bounds. So the incompletion stops the clock with 28 seconds left. 2nd down. And you would think, as Zane pointed out earlier, not a strong leg by Richton's special teams place kickers. So, and they need the touchdown. I didn't mention any names, though. See, I didn't mention any names. I was just speaking in generalities.
You made sure to mention my name.
28 seconds left to go. Favre. Little dump at the line of scrimmage that got a nice block there.
Carson Doug tackled the wrong person. Oh, they threw it to the wrong person, I believe.
And there's a penalty marker at the 25. Might be an illegal man downfield, but we'll wait for the indication here. 20 seconds left on the clock. Sumrall leads Richton 27-14. But we mentioned Richton for so many years was a basketball school. Then Jacoby Jones comes along. They put together some great baseball teams, and they're still very strong in baseball. But football has been where they just haven't been able to find themselves. But a 3-1 start here has the Rebels smelling themselves a little bit.
Speaking of Richton basketball, our former basketball coach, Lee Reddy, his dad was the coach at Richton at the time that they were so strong at basketball.
We got a horse collar against Richton. So maybe when Duck came in to try to make that play, he was grabbed by the collar. And they lose the down on that play as well. So third down. With 20 seconds left to go. Big play here for the Sumrall defense. Again, the Bobcats leading 27-14. Dylan Favre. There used to be a Dylan Favre quarterback down at St. Stanislaus years ago, Brett Favre's nephew. Here's another Favre. He's flush from the pocket, wants to run. Another penalty flag is coming out. Boy, the line judge wanted to throw that before he did, and he got kind of caught up in traffic. And normally thrown in the area of where holding would be. It's a chop block against the Rebels. So
that's really going to hurt them right here.
Oh, they've got it stuck in reverse. 12 seconds left to go, and the Rebels are going backwards with another penalty here.
And they're looking for a touchdown because I don't believe the kicking team can make it from right here.
That would be a good boot for anybody. 12 seconds left to go. Week 2 of the NFL season coming up. What in the world happened to the New Orleans Saints defense last week? There was no defense for the Saints. But luckily for New Orleans, Cleveland comes to town.
I don't know. Cleveland, they're going to be all right.
Just because they tied the Steelers?
No, I mean, they got some athletes on the field, which, I mean, every NFL team does. But
third down and a new area code for Richton. Favre, will throw it here with 10 seconds left. Now he is going to try to run this football, and he is dragged from behind by Cole Daniels. What a mismatch. Cole Daniels was not going to let him go, and that brings to a close the first half of play. 2 quarters in the books here in Sumrall tonight. And at the end of the second quarter, Sumrall 27, the Richton Rebels 14. So we'll get to see the Richton band perform a little bit here in just a second. The Grand Bank halftime show coming your way. Ready to buy or build your dream home? Well, Grand Bank has the perfect loan for you. From hassle-free construction financing to ideal programs for first-time home buyers, Grand Bank has become the preferred choice for home loan shoppers in the Pine Belt wanting low rates and quality customer service they can count on. Find out for yourself. Stop by Grand Bank in Hattiesburg or in Petal. You can call them at 264-1467. That's Grand Bank, your hometown bank, locally owned and operated, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. The Grand Bank halftime show here from Lions Field in Sumrall, where the Bobcats lead Richton 27-14. The first Sumrall team since 1980, we said 87, I think it was 88, to go 5-0 to begin a season when Neville Barr was here for that team, as we mentioned in the pregame show, lost to Lake. Joining us here on set in the press box is the 15th year supervisor for District 5 in Lamar County. Dale Lucas is here with some exciting news about the progress that the for the soccer fields in Sumrall. We welcome you, Dale. Good to have you here. Hang on just a second. Let me make sure we get your microphone turned up. There you go.
Okay, thanks,
Yeah,
Kelly.
now can you hear it now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good deal. Well, it's good to have you here sporting the blue tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Yeah.
first half for Sumrall. So what's going on with the soccer field? Lots of good, exciting news.
Well, we are ready to put sod on next week. I got Coach here with us. We're very proud of this young man. In his 3 seasons here, 3 seasons into the playoffs, and we got a good future here in soccer with this man at the helm of our team.
Well, you know, where he grew up, the house that he grew up in is in District 5. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, because it's right across the street from me.
Okay.
And I know that I'm in District 5.
You are.
Yeah,
You
so
are.
yeah, he grew up right in your own district.
Yeah.
Take us to the genesis of this, and when it was decided that a soccer field was in the making, and how did you find the land? How did you negotiate it politically to get the land, and how did it all happen?
Well, it was give credit to him and his boosters.
Coach Todd Siders.
To Coach Todd Siders and his boosters, they got out and got the property. They've raised a lot of money. If you've been on Facebook lately, you've seen where they're asking for donations. The county came in. They came to us and asked us for help. And as I've done in football, basketball, baseball, youth,
Tiddlywinks.
whatever these kids need, I try to help them. And so we got together. We got us a plan. We've got an official size field. I think he said it would be the first official size field for a high school team in the state.
And we're gonna continue to talk with you, Mr. Supervisor, and then while Todd's here, we might as well
Yes,
talk with him and
please.
see what's going on. But 15 years on the job, if you had to give a state of the county address or whatever, what is the financial health of the county? Would you say, Dale?
We're good. We're really good. We've been blessed with growth. We had another big year this year with our solar fields. It was a big shot in the arm for us, and we've got close to I'm going to say 900 acres of solar panels out here just east of Sumrall. It's a good, clean industry. You don't have to worry about noise, lights, trucks, any kind of toxic spills. It's just out there. Most people thought it was actually a big lake why it was being built, because the panels were down and it just looked blue. So we're very fortunate to get 2 solar fields in this area.
So but at the county-wide, though, the financial health of the county, you said there's been good growth, and have we even had a tax increase? And when was the last tax increase the county had? Do you even remember?
It was before I've been in office.
Okay, and you've been there 15 years,
Yes.
and they haven't been. So the growth, even though as the county continues to grow, there is additional expense. The growth itself is providing the money to accommodate that growth.
And conservative. We've been very conservative. The boards have done a good job being conservative with taxpayers' money here.
One of the problems with any growing pains is, of course, infrastructure. You've got a lot of different roads around the area that are being widened, and talk about the partnership between county government, in this case the supervisors, the state government, and the federal government, which all have to kind of play a part in this.
Well, and you can look back over the last 8 years at the 4th Street project, all the way from 59 out past to Jackson Road, the new Jackson Road, over to 98 at Optimus Park. Now we've got another project that's going to take Lincoln Road all the way around and cross back over and join Lincoln Road across Oak Grove Road. And then we've got the project from the city limits out by the high school, Oak Grove High School field, all the way down to the Exxon store on Old 11. So we've got a lot of projects. We've got a red light project going on at Richburg and 11. I was fortunate enough with our help of our good Senator Joy Fillingham to secure $1.5 million for Scruggs Road, and we're going to be able to fix a bad intersection there and make it a lot safer.
Really, when you look at as far as the growth of the different districts in the county, Mr. Supervisor, yours is probably the one that is growing the fastest.
It's right up there at the top.
So,
yes.
so how do you keep up with it?
Well, it's a lot of hard work, Kelly. I mean, we go out there every year. We make our plans, and we follow our plan. We know what we have to spend. We know what we can do. We try to be honest with all the taxpayers and let them know, give us a little time, and we'll get to you.
And you're kind of an old school politician. I hate to use the word politician because there's such a negative connotation with it anymore, but old school in the sense that you give people your cell number and say, look, if I can help you, if there's any trouble, I mean, that's what I'm there to do, right?
Can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
When you work for any company, did you give your boss man a cell number?
Well, I would, but I mean, I'm, normally.
So I've got approximately 17,000 people in my district now. I work for them. So yes, they all get my cell phone number.
It makes perfect sense to me, but
Yeah.
but you will
Yeah.
you will give me the fact that most guys in your situation don't do that
Well,
necessarily.
I don't know. It's something I did from day one. People need a supervisor when they need one.
So-
It's not a 8 to 5 job. It's 24-hour days, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. So
Dale Lucas is with us, District 5 Supervisor of Lamar County, in the 15th year serving in that role. If you had a wish list, Dale, just your wish list, not your 4 colleagues, but just your wish list for the county, what would be some of the things over the next, 5 to 10 years you'd like to see happen, or you anticipate are going to happen, growth related or not?
Well, I think everyone would agree that you want to see the growth to continue. I want us to be able to manage the growth in a healthy way. I would like to see us to be able to work with state and federal agencies and get more money, because we're at that odd population side of about 70,000 people. And so it's hard for us to compete with a county that's got 150 to 200,000 people and $1 billion worth of assessed value when we're in the 500, close to 600 million. So there's a difference there. But if we can just keep going what we're going, as it's going, the growth stay at a brisk pace, not fall off and not get crazy. But if we can do that and we can continue to get monies and help out, I think our county's got a bright future ahead of it.
And actually, you guys do work with different companies that their job is to kind of they're really good at kind of projecting what might be 10 or 20 years down the road.
We're in the process right now of doing our second comprehensive plan. We did one back in 2008. They're usually good for 30 years, but in our case, we saw last year that we really need to look at our comprehensive plan again, because with the amount of growth, not only in my district, but the Sumrall and Purvis area. If you look at where the building is, that's where the open ground was, the open land. So you've got a lot of people moving into the Purvis area, a lot of people moving in the Sumrall area.
One of the things, it's fun to talk about, but I'm not sure that it'll ever happen. But I want to just mention to you. You hear people say, well, somewhere down the road, there's going to be a quote-unquote Lamar County high school, like at Jeff Davis, where they consolidated, Bassfield and Prentice. I don't ever see that happening, and I know it's fun to talk about, but has that ever even been discussed, the potential even down the road of there being one big Lamar County high school?
Well, that wouldn't be a supervisor's discussion. That would be a school board's discussion. But you look out here at the crowd tonight. Do you really want to take this from Sumrall, Lumberton, Purvis, and Oak Grove? You've been a part of Oak Grove.
I would not. I would not. But
that's going to be a school board issue and not a supervisor's issue.
But you know why this crowd is here tonight? It's because they knew you were going to be here.
No. They're here because we got a very good football team going this year.
Yeah, they're playing pretty well, aren't they?
We've got probably the most athletes on both sides of the ball I've seen here in several years.
And Sumrall leading here at halftime 27-14. The Richton band just got done performing, and now Sumrall's band will set up, and you'll be able to see it there. And we'll head to the second half here in just a little bit. And the Lamar County Supervisors, sponsors of this webcast. Dale Lucas, your 15th year. Next year an election year?
Next year's election year.
So you got to go all over again, huh?
I won't be asking everybody for their vote.
So
hopefully I've done my job well enough. They'll once again trust me to go down and serve another 4-year term.
Well, and as long as you're here tonight, you might as well shake a few hands, all right?
That's every day, Kelly.
Dale Lucas in his 15th year as District Supervisor, District 5 for the Lamar County Supervisors. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much,
Continued success. Thanks for everything you do.
Thank you.
And we're going to ask you to pass the headsets to Coach Todd Siders. While they're doing that, we'll turn that down so you won't hear the microphone kind of be bounced around there while we're getting it set as the Grand Bank halftime show continues here from Lions Field in Sumrall. The Bobcats leading Richton 27-14 at half. And my old neighbor, old Todd Spiders, as we used to call him. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well, Kelly. How are you?
You got to be excited. I saw the Facebook post, and it was like one day you had just started it, and it seemed like a week later you had all the money you needed. I was amazed at how quickly, of course, I don't understand social media all that well anyway, but obviously people responded to your call.
Yeah, I think it's a very good indication of how well soccer has grown here in a short amount of time, and certainly the community's behind it, and the youth involvement is really increasing. And then, Dale's done a tremendous job helping us out. And when I reached out to him, it was kind of a pipe dream, and then next thing you know, this is a reality, and I can't be more excited.
When you set the goal for the fundraising effort, it was raised quickly, and then the next thing is, well, I mean, if you want to give some more,
yeah,
go ahead, and people did.
Well, I actually had people like, well, here you go, can we still donate? And I was like, well, certainly. I was just sitting in bed one night. I didn't even know you could do it on Facebook, and I saw it, and I was like, well, I'll just give it a try. And I put a goal for 10,000. If I got 1,000, hey, that'd be great. And I woke up next morning, it was over 3,000. And I was like, what in the world's happening?
More than you had before.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
All right, so tell us about the land and the cooperation with the boosters and how that all came about.
Yeah, when I took this job, I just told them, I was like, look, I'm thankful for what we have. And if we want to compete with the teams that are playing for state championships, this is what we're going to have to do one day. And we kind of set out a vision. I didn't think it would happen this quick, but we knew we had to find land. That was the biggest thing. And I was driving by, and I saw a little bit of land cleared out over there on 42, and called my assistant coach, and I said, well, you know who owns this? And he said, well, I know exactly who owns it. And so we ended up talking to Junior Boyer, and he donated 2 acres to us and sold the other acres to us. And then, talked with Dale and asked for their help. And he, told us what he was going to do. He was going to do it the right way and really support us and put as much as he could into it. And he was not going to go over budget. He wasn't going to take out debt. And I said, that's fine by me. And so we bought the land through the Booster Club and donated over to the Lamar County Supervisors, and Dale has just done a tremendous job. So.
All right, now wait a minute. So you have a political official that says he's not going to borrow any money, he's not going to go over budget.
Exactly.
What the heck is wrong with him?
It means he's doing a great job, is what it means.
It just doesn't happen very
I know,
often.
it doesn't. It doesn't.
Right. All right, so not only will the high school be able to use it, but rec tournaments and things as well.
Yeah. So we have several teams that are participating with HYSA out at Tatum Park that they practice here in town at the old baseball field on 589, and they'll go play their games on Tuesday nights or Thursday nights or Saturday mornings, and it's really growing. I mean, it started with 2 teams. We're up to 10 teams now. And so we'll see. We'll talk with HYSA and see if we can maybe affiliate with them, but we would love to have games being played here and have enough community growth that we can form our own leagues here at Sumrall.
I think Supervisor Lucas said the turf is going in this next week. What will it give?
Yeah.
Will it give the root structure of the grass long enough time for you guys to play on it this year?
Yeah, Justin Winburn with Winburn Lawns is kind of doing that for us. He helped us find the sod and take control of that, and he feels comfortable that by the time we play our first game in November at home, that the roots will be settled and we can get on it. So we'll put it down next week and let it sit and water it and water it and water it, and then hopefully by the time we get ready to play, we'll be good enough to get on to.
Now, you played your prep soccer at Oak Grove, and you were a goaltender?
Goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper.
Yes,
I always get that wrong.
Goaltender hockey.
Yeah, goalkeeper in soccer. So how does a goalkeeper become such a good soccer coach when you're not out there kicking it around like the forwards and wings and all that sort of thing?
Well, the unique thing about the goalkeeper is the only one on the field that's seeing the entire game go on at one time. So I learned a lot, and the goalkeepers are relied on to control your defense, control the flow of the game, and give commands to your teammates and help make sure everybody's in position. And so I learned a lot doing that, and just love the game of soccer and just let it carry over from there.
Well, like any program, though, Todd, there's always going to be some growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
You probably had a checklist when you first took the job as to some things you wanted to get accomplished. About what percentage of those things have you gotten accomplished, and maybe what's next on your checklist of things you want to get done?
Honestly, I didn't really know what to expect coming into it. I know I was told that it's going to take time to build.
Sure.
You might not win a game your first year, all this stuff, and so we just got into it, and I had my first day of tryouts. Honestly, when I got done with it, I was like, what have I gotten myself into? And then I stepped back and said, well, we got some good athletes, so let's just see what happens. And the kids have worked extremely hard, and to be honest with you, we're further along than I thought we would be at this point. I'm not naive to say certainly our district isn't the strongest district to play in, but a credit to these kids that we've won 2 district championships in just 3 short years. And so to check that point, that was one checkpoint. Can you win your district? That's always what you start off with, but now we got to get past the first round, and so that's our next goal going into this year.
And really, as far as the rest of the district goes, you have no control over that.
No.
All you can do is worry about, your own business here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's exciting. Then, so the soccer team and the high school soccer season is usually, second week in November?
We'll start after school practice mid-October, October 15th. We'll have the Jamboree at Oak Grove on October 27th. And then the following Saturday, the first Saturday in November, we'll kick off our Open Classic tournament.
Now, will men and women both play on the same field?
Yes.
Okay, then there'll usually be a double header, right?
Yeah, so the girls usually play first round 5:30, and the guys play at 7.
I just, if in a perfect world, Todd, would you like to move the soccer season more to a spring schedule?
Well, there's been a lot of talk of that, more chatter than I've heard in several years on that, about the possibility of moving soccer to spring. Anywhere you do it, you have so many conflicts. I'm happy where it is, but ideally the weather would be better.
Yeah, because as a fan, I really enjoy watching the kids play soccer, but it gets so cold sometimes.
So Mississippi, it's 32 degrees one night, and you play next morning or afternoon on Saturday, and it's like 75. So.
And you pay your ticket to get in, which is fine, but then I always got to pay the guy with the propane heater another $5.
I hear you.
So
I eat well to keep that insulation up during the winter months.
You're moving around a little bit. We're sitting up there in the stands. It's it's a little bit difficult sometimes. But how many years now will this be?
This will be our 4th year going into it.
Okay, and already some great things happening in the infancy of the Sumrall boys and girls soccer programs, led by Todd Siders, my old neighbor. We miss you in the neighborhood, Todd. Although property values have gone up.
I hear you. I miss the old Toddzilla shifts on Finlow back in the day.
That's right. One of the best Dixie youth players to ever play, Mr. Todd Siders. That we had to shift our defense around because
you're ahead of the game. Now you turn on TV in Major Leagues, they're all shifting.
Yeah. But there was a reason we did it, though.
I know the analytics. It's all analytics.
You always pulled the baseball and hit it hard. Continued success, buddy.
Kelly, I appreciate it. Thanks you so much.
And to all of the people who gave and responded to your plea.
A huge thank you to this community. Once again, Dale Lucas has done a tremendous job. I can't thank him enough for what he's done. This isn't possible without him, and I could go on for days thanking people, but Dale's certainly stepped up to the plate and delivered for us.
All right, Todd, and you can follow the Sumrall Soccer program. Do you guys have your own social media?
Yeah, at Sumrall Soccer on Twitter. You can like our Sumrall Soccer Facebook page. Keep a lot of updates on there, and would love just to have you come out, check it out, and jump on board.
So where specifically now on 42 are we talking about?
If you're heading, leaving Sumrall on 42, heading towards 49, right past the youth baseball and football fields, it's right adjacent to it.
Okay, so that'll be a great youth sports area.
Yeah, it fits in, and that's another part we like to fit in with the footprint. So
and easy to get to when you come off of 49 or on 42.
Yeah,
either
absolutely.
way, good access from either direction. Sumrall Bobcat Soccer. Look for more. We're here at halftime. The Grand Bank halftime show will continue in a moment. The Bobcats lead the Richton Rebels 27-14 at half. We'll be back with the second half kickoff in just a moment. Kelly Sander back with you at Lions Field in Sumrall, where the Bobcats lead Richton 27-14. Our halftime show brought to you by our friends at Grand Bank. Obtaining a home loan is easier from your hometown bank, Grand Bank. Grand Bank has become the preferred choice for home buyers in the Pine Belt wanting low interest rates and hometown service they can count on. Whether you're looking for your first home, your next home, or refinancing your current one, Grand Bank will make it easy. They're locally owned, their home is right here, and they want to help you with yours. Stop by or give them a call at 264-1467. That's 601-264-1467. Grand Bank is your hometown lender, member FDIC. Let's get you up to date on other scores around Region 7-4A tonight. They had a weather delay over in Monticello, so Lawrence County and Franklin County just getting underway. No score in that ball game. Poplarville showing why they are the kings of the district, 41-0. Poplarville beating Heidelberg 41-0 in the second quarter. So again, Poplarville is the defending region champion, has one loss on the year. It was to Picayune earlier, but Heidelberg rolling tonight. Poplarville rather rolling over Heidelberg tonight, 41-0. Meanwhile, Greene County, who came into tonight with a 2-2 record. The Wildcats are leading Long Beach 21-7 at half. Greene County 21, Long Beach 7. That is a halftime score. And that game is at Greene County in Leaksville. Mendenhall 14, Purvis 8. That is a halftime score. Purvis led that game early, but Mendenhall has come back with 2 touchdowns. It is now 14-8 Mendenhall over Purvis at halftime. And West Marion 32, Forest County AHS 7. The Aggies looking for their first win of the year. Does not appear that it'll happen tonight. West Marion leading that one in the third quarter. West Marion 32, Forest County AHS 7. All of our scores tonight brought to you by our friends at Primerica Financial Services. I want to thank Mike Landrum and his able staff for their sponsoring our scoreboard show. Oak Grove and Lumberton have the night off. So the only other 2 Lamar County schools, which are schools in the Bobcats district, of course, that's the Purvis Tornadoes. So Purvis being beaten by Mendenhall 14-8 at half. Sumrall winning here, looking to go 5-0 for the first time since 1988. The Rebels will get the football to begin the second half of play. They won the toss, remember, and deferred to the second half. So Bryson Smith will get ready to tee it up. Zane Berry will be joining us here momentarily as he comes back from the locker room. Smith to kick it away. It's a low squibber that is fielded at about the 25-yard line, and minimal forward gain there by Juwan Bolton on the return for the Rebels. And Richton will start at about the 26-yard line, 1st and 10, as we'll get the camera situated over there so you can pick up what's going on. Again, the Rebels will be working from left to right or from west to east here at Lions Field, the way that it is laid out. Sumrall leads it 27-14 as we begin the second half of play here on a very pleasant Friday night, working toward the end of September now. The heat timeouts will go away the first game in October. Dylan Favre at quarterback. He's got a receiver to the near side. That's Colby Creel. But Favre looks to his left. Can't find anybody. Now flushed from the pocket, but is hammered by Solomon Landrum and Cole Daniels. Both of them together made a Favre sandwich and took him to the ground. A loss on the play of about 7. It'll be 2nd down and 17. Nice job by the Bobcat defense. A little bit fired up since they gave up 2 touchdowns in the first half. So 2nd down and about 17 now after that loss on the play. Zane Berry rejoins us on the sweep. That is Dede Griffin. Griffin getting some of the yardage back, but not a whole lot, maybe 2 or 3. I knew that chair was going the way of the Buffalo earlier on tonight.
Golly.
These chairs that only have, a weight limit of 100 pounds, they need to go. So here we go, third down and about 15 after the gain of 2. 10:48 left to go here in the third quarter. Bobcat defense looking to rise up here. And if they hold here, would get the football in pretty good position, you would think, after a punt. So Favre with twin receivers to the near side, but throws it out into the left flat. It is complete, but still about 10 yards short. So just to give the punting unit a little room in which to work. So the punting unit in here for the Rebels to kick it away. And it'll be Barrett. So the place kicker. And to boot it, it's a low liner. Barrett will just let this ball wiggle out of bounds. The Rebels had it covered pretty well, and you know he learned his lesson in the first half. If you can't secure it quickly and well, just let it go.
A lot of times we're told if you can't catch it in the air, don't even try.
So 1st and 10 for the Sumrall offense now with 9:43 left to go here in the third quarter. Sumrall leading Richton 27-14. The Rebels 3-1 on the year. Sumrall 4-0. So you've got some teams that know a little bit about winning. Poplarville was winning big, 41-0 over Heidelberg in the second quarter.
Dang.
So all eyes are on that game for a little bit later on in Poplarville. And I would think that Sumrall and Poplarville both have very good chances of battling for the district championship that night. Dennis Jackson has the football. Wants to throw, slings it across the middle. That pass was almost intercepted. Sitting back there in his zone was Dylan Favre, who read it. The pass was intended for Cockcroft, incomplete. But under the circumstances, Dennis Jackson, very fortunate that one didn't get picked.
I know it. Has he thrown an interception this year?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And remember, Dennis Jackson was really not supposed to be the starting quarterback. Billy Garrity on the mend from labrum surgery, out for the year, but hopefully back in a baseball uniform in the spring. Incompletion stops the clock with 9:36 on second down. Dennis Jackson flares one out to Tyler Daniels. Daniels made the reception but went down with his knee. Remember in high school, if you have the football and go down where your knee or elbow touches the ground, even if you are not touched by the defense, you are considered down. So he would have been better for him just to drop that football. But third down and 11 after the loss of a yard. Sumrall not able to burn really any clock on this series with a couple of passing completions. But now third down and 11. Shannon White, who's not only the head coach of the Sumrall team, but serves as the offensive coordinator. We'll see what he's got. It's a straight snap to the quarterback. Dennis Jackson weaving his way through traffic and gets ahead across the 50-yard line down to the 46. That should be enough for a first down. No flags. He was tackled by Micah Timms. So Sumrall will have it at the Richton 46-yard line. With 9:07 left to go here in the third quarter. The clock is running. Sumrall will head to Pass Christian next week. Man in motion, that's Barrett. They fake it to him. Jackson now rolls to his right. Can't find anybody. He is in trouble, but Jackson cannot get away. Dropped all the way back at the 35-yard line.
That's a big loss right there.
Braxton Brewer on the tackle for Richton, and he got Jackson back there in trouble. So
he had Gabe Crowcroft wide open, but just the pressure got to him right there.
Yeah, you lose sight of the target when you got two or three guys breathing down your neck. You've got more pressing matters, I guess, at the moment. So second down and forever. Bobcats try to be patient and get some of this back a little bit at a time. Here comes Barrett. Barrett will find some yardage. Look at Hayden Barrett across the 45 up to near the 50.
Is a penalty flag.
He was dropped up by Brennan Shaddles on the tackle for the Rebels. Shaddles with the tackle and a marker down at about the 46. Oh boy. This is against Sumrall, a hold.
Bring him back a little further.
You think this chair will work, Zane, if I sit in this one?
You know, I feel like that one has a good base to it.
Better have a pretty good base. There we go. It is a hold. So Sumrall now, like the Rebels did in their last series of the second quarter, Sumrall's got it stuck in reverse here. With 8:02 left to go here in the third quarter, this is the first game this year that the starting units for Sumrall are still in the game. With big lopsided advantages, Shannon White put his starters on the bench and got some reps for the second and third stringers. But Richton, a pretty good football team. The handoff from Dennis Jackson, straight up the middle, up across the 40 to about the 45-yard line. Let's see who got the run there.
Tyreek Preston.
Tyreek Preston.
Tyreek Preston on the carry.
Hayden Barrett in there as a receiver. To the near side, Gabe Crowcroft. Also Tyler Daniels. You see them looking at the sideline here. 3rd and 21. Clock meandering down to about 7:09 left to go here in the third. Jackson on the straight run. Now looked like he was going to throw it. Now comes back to the near side. Still could throw this ball. Does across the middle, and he's got Crowcroft at the 30-yard line. What imagination by Dennis Jackson. And Zane Berry, when the quarterback is threatening to run, but we do have a penalty marker down again. Hang on.
Oh, no.
Penalty marker across the field, and lots of times when a quarterback runs like that, the lineman released downfield thinking he's going to run, and then when he threw it, some of the linemen were downfield illegally. So this will go against Sumrall.
Bring us back a little further.
But as linebacker, the linebackers have to respect the fact that Jackson can run, which is what left Crowcroft open. But the problem was, as we mentioned, then the lineman broke downfield thinking Dennis was going to run, and they wanted to get down there and block for him. So you can't do that. 3rd down and forever.
Which that is a hard job for the lineman to know if he is going to run or not when he's scrambling like that.
6 minutes, 49 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. On the scoreboard, we are where we were at half. Sumrall leading Richton 27-14.
3rd down for the Bobcats.
So 3rd down. Barrett in motion again. They fake it to him. Then Jackson throws it over to here to the near side. Incomplete. Crowcroft was the intended receiver on a wide receiver screen over here. But no good. And Payne Phillips checks into the ball game. Payne is the punter for Sumrall.
4th down for the Bobcats.
He walks around town and nobody knows who he is because he's just not in there very often. So Payne to kick it away.
It's the first time tonight.
Back to receive for the Rebels.
And Favre
15, Dylan Favre.
is back to receive for Richton. And Sumrall has been at times a little auspicious in their special teams and kick coverage. Phillips gets this kick away, but it's a low floater that Favre takes on one hop at about the 25. Tries to wrestle himself away, but is taken down at about the 33-yard line. Nice job by special teams. For Sumrall leading the way, TJ Varnado, the Italian stallion. Tyreek Preston also there. And I know you'll find this hard to believe, but Tate Davis was in on the stop along with James Ford. 2 of the young stalwarts that you're going to be hearing a lot about in Sumrall uniforms in years to come. 6:16 left to go here in the third quarter. Kelly Sander with Zane Berry here at Lions Field. Sumrall leading Richton 27-14. Favre and company back at work. They have the football at their own 33-yard line. The Rebels from the far side in front of the Richton bench. Handoff looking for some room is D.D. Griffin, but can't find any as he was escorted out of bounds over there. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Making life difficult for him over there was Ashanti Crowcroft. Ashanti's the senior. Gabe is the junior of the Crowcroft guys. 5:57 left to go here in the third quarter. There's a heat timeout on the field. Coming up at the end of our broadcast, the Hattiesburg Children's Clinic will be sponsoring the post-game show where we talk about where this game will leave the Bobcats and where they head from here. And Dandy Dans of Bellevue and Sumrall, the Offensive and Defensive Players of the Game awards will be announced. Anytime the Bobcats get inside the 20-yard line, that's the Sumrall Lawn Care Red Zone. NFL football this weekend. We mentioned the Saints are at home against the Cleveland Browns. And Thursday night action last night, the Cincinnati Bengals defeated the Baltimore Ravens. Cincinnati in first place in the AFC North. Still early, but boy, the Saints kind of laid an egg last Sunday, didn't they? Defensively against Tampa Bay.
I know it.
But the Tampa Bay offensive coordinator, you know who he is?
Who?
Todd Monken.
Yeah.
Former
From Southern Miss.
Right. So Favre out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. On the delay, tries to get the ball handed off. It's fumbled, and the Bobcats have it at the 29-yard line. Making the recovery, Justice Hanbury and Justice for All. Making the fumble recovery.
Justice for Raw.
Raw, yeah, the little apostrophe and then R-A-L-L. And Justice for All. And I told Justice, don't cut that hair, man. He said, I can't. It's like, it's like his power source.
It's sacred.
Kind of like was it to Samson that had the long hair, right? 5 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Richton trails Sumrall 27-14. Dennis Jackson and company with Tyreek Preston in the backfield. He's got 2 receivers to the near side, Tyler Daniels and Gabe Cocroft. Barrett and Cronin to the far side. John Failer, the center for this Sumrall offense. On 1st and 10 to Jackson. Wants to run it himself. Has a blocker out in front. And is taken out. And they throw him down at about the 23-yard line. He was about 3 or 4 yards out of the field of play. Malcolm Hinton kind of pushed him that direction. And then it wasn't a hard tackle by any means. But the fact that it was 3 or 4 yards out of bounds may have brought a flag, but it didn't.
We do have a penalty flag.
At the line of scrimmage. There's been a lot of those tonight. Lawson Graves on the line for Sumrall here. It's against Sumrall. So the Bobcats have looked a little bit out of sync here to begin the third quarter of play. As you see that picture from across the field, back in the old days, Zane, that was the home side. Mm-hmm.
I know it.
Back when Sumrall played Lake for the South State Championship in '88, that was a monsoon came through that night. It was horrible weather.
Were you here?
I was. Standing underneath that goalpost, and Sumrall lost on
you lost by a field goal, right?
Right. Tried a field goal, couldn't make it. Pass out into the left flat. Cocroft cannot hang on to it. He was busted almost immediately after making contact with the football. Defensively, Zach Mills was there to put a lick on him. So it'll stop the clock again with 5:08 left to go here in the third quarter. We always love to hear from you. 601-310-7077. 601-310-7077. Poplarville was on its way to another big win tonight. Lawrence County and Franklin County had a weather delay, so their game got started late. No score early in that one. Purvis was being beaten, and the Aggies were being beaten. Handoff. This is Barrett. Barrett following his blockers, spins away from one man, and takes on 4 or 5 before he gets down finally inside the 30. Taking him to the ground was Brennan Shaddles. Hayden Pedigo getting some work there on the offensive line tonight for Sumrall, laying a block downfield. Marshall Phillips in the ball game. 4:37 and counting left to go here in the third quarter. It's 3rd down and 10 after all of those penalties and mark-offs backward. Sumrall has an opportunity to convert here on a 3rd down and 10. Jackson with Phillips in motion. They fake it to Phillips, and Jackson goes for it himself down to about the 24-yard line. That's not going to be enough. He needed to get to the 20. He picked up 6, but again, not enough.
They're going to have to go for it right here.
Yeah, it's a tough spot because it's a long field goal, and you figure.
But you can't punt it.
But everything would almost have to be perfect. And when you have a defense like Sumrall has had,
you might as well go for it.
Might as well.
I mean, gamble it a little bit.
The odds are just as good. And it shows your offense, you got a little bit of confidence in them,
too.
what
I'll do right here, a little out route.
Dennis Jackson is rolling, can't find anybody, now dumps it across the middle, and this pass is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. He threw into double coverage at about the 15-yard line. Looked like he intended to reach Barrett. We got a shout out for Jordan Thomas for the Houston Texans. They're in that AFC South division.
He had a tough loss last week against the Patriots.
I'm not a Patriot fan.
I'm not either.
Anybody beat the Patriots, fine with me. But the Cincinnati Bengals, who I am a fan of.
You know, they used to be my favorite team.
Really?
Always growing up because, I don't know, I just love their uniforms.
Yeah, you're a grand old man at, what, 17, 18?
Yes.
Yeah. Growing up, huh?
Growing up. But now it's just.
Well, the last time that a team has started 2-0 in the AFC and has scored at least 30 points in their first 2 games went to the Super Bowl, and it was the Denver Broncos.
Have the Bengals done that this year?
They have.
They're 2-0 right now?
They are.
No, they played last night, didn't they?
They did. They stuck it to the Ravens. Timeout on the field. Sumrall leads at 27-14 with 3:45 left to go here in the third quarter. Our offensive and defensive players of the games brought to you by Dandy Dan, Chevron, and Sumrall, the go-to one-stop shop in Sumrall. Open at 6 a.m. Whether you need a quick soft drink or different types of fuel, Dandy Dan's, like the Bobcat defense, won't let you down. Dandy Dan's, Chevron, and Sumrall is the proud sponsor of the offensive player of the game and wishes Coach Shannon White and the team good luck in its quest for a district and state championship. Dandy Dan's in Sumrall on Highway 42, right across from the middle school. Open at 6 a.m. Needless to say, Zane Berry is not open at 6 a.m. Not in any day of the week, right?
Not a single day.
But you're not on the crutches anymore. You're getting around.
I'm getting around good. I practiced this week, the last 2 days of the week, so, I mean, everything's going good. Only problem is a little cutting. The cutting part, it's a little shaky. I'm unstable there. But
And you got to be fully confident, you know.
Yeah.
3:45 left to go in the third quarter. The Rebels getting back to work here with a first down.
Well, Kelly, you know I struggle with confidence.
You do, and I'm glad we don't have those issues anymore. Not at quarter. Favre is not at quarterback. Different man controlling the offense is Zadarius Mitchell.
Flag was thrown.
And it might have been where he got hit late or out of bounds. Been a lot of flags here thrown tonight. It is a personal foul against Sumrall.
You know, Kelly, I don't get this, how that he was still in bounds, it seemed like. But Dennis Jackson over here, when he got hit out of bounds, he was 3 or 4 yards out of bounds.
Lots of times I think it's the how aggressive the lick or the tackle is. You know, if it's just kind of a bump or something, they won't call the flag. But that one goes against Sumrall, and the Rebels have not needed a whole lot of help in moving themselves down the field. But that's a big one against the boys in blue. It'll march the football down to the 41-yard line, or up to the 41, I should say, as the Rebels work from left to right with 3:33 left to go here in the third quarter. Sumrall leading Richton 27-14.
Zadarius Mitchell at quarterback. That's going to give him more of a Dennis Jackson look at quarterback.
Floats it up in the air. This pass is intercepted down at the 38-yard line. Darius Fairman on the pick. And Sumrall will get the football right back with 3:23 left to go. Big play.
Let's see if the Bobcats can finally get something going on offense this half.
And I would think offensively they really need to, just to prove it to themselves. But again, offensively and defensively, this is the first game this year that Shannon White has needed the starters to be in there this late in the game, even though we're just still in the third quarter.
If we would have capitalized on these past couple of drives, who knows, they might not have played the fourth quarter with our defensive making some big stops.
Dennis Jackson on the handoff to Tyreek Preston. Preston with a nice slant gets across the 45 down to the 40-yard line before he got dumped by Zadarius Mitchell. Also there for the Rebels was Hayden Harvison. A first down and a big play there for the Rawcats as they have a first down at the Richton 40.
I really thought he was going to take it the distance right there, Kelly.
He waited nicely to make sure that his blockers were out ahead of him. He could outrun those offensive linemen, but waited for them to part the seas down the field.
That's really what makes a running back good, when they have patience and waits for those gaps.
And it resulted in a big gain for Tyreek Preston. So they go right back to him, the exact same play, and this time he gets down to the 30-yard line, a pickup of about another 10, and again he was pushed out by Brennan Shaddles. So the Bobcats showing a little bit of patience here. The clock melting with 2:31 left to go in the third quarter. No scoring here in the second half. 27-14 is where we were at the break. That's where we are right now. Lumberton and Oak Grove elsewhere in the county have the night off. Oak Grove will play George County next week in 6A play. Lumberton undefeated. You're going to hear a lot about Lumberton in that 1A race. Cocroft on the handoff. Sweep to the right side, another penalty flag. So this may come back. Man, there have been a lot of flags tonight.
Seems like they've all been on us, too.
It is a hold against Sumrall. It's coming back. So this one, it's a spot foul, and they throw the flag from where it happened. This series for Sumrall, the Bobcats have had the ball for about 10 minutes, but don't seem to really go anywhere. They'll get 10 yards forward, 15 yards back, 20 yards forward, 10 yards back.
Well, last drive was just as long, but then we had a quick interception. Makes it seem longer since they put it back on the field.
Amanda Duck is watching the Quack Attack in Kennedy, Texas. We got half the state of Texas watching tonight. That's from the 830.
The Quack Attacks bringing in the Texas folks.
And there's a timeout on the field. The Bobcats will come to the sideline. Must have been a special this month on red cars, right?
I know.
Mustangs and Camaros. So the Bobcats talk it over to the right. The Rebels talk it over on the other side of the field. We'll try to get you some scores coming in on the Primerica
I've got
scoreboard.
one for you. Mendenhall just took a 22-6 lead over Purvis.
West Marion is leading Forest County AHS 32-13. That's in the fourth quarter, so the Aggies still looking for their first win. Poplarville went to half, leading Heidelberg 41-0. Greene County 28, Long Beach 7. And as Zane just talked about, Mendenhall over Purvis 22-8. That's a third quarter score. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Primerica Financial Services. Dennis Jackson on the give and go to Tyreek Preston over left tackle. Maybe got a yard or two. Not much there, where he was tackled by the Man Mountain, Chris Miller over there. The 6-footer, 305 on the defensive line for the Richton Rebels. So second down and about 15 with 1:13 left to go. Normally that camera insert is in the upper left-hand part of your picture, but what is giving us our feed tonight is actually that clock camera. So just south of a minute left to go now. Dennis Jackson wants to run this one himself. Does, gets down to the 30 and is pushed out of bounds at about the 31. Now see, there could have been a flag there because he was on his way out of bounds and got popped by Brennan Shaddles, but no flag on the play, or is there? They're standing around like there is. Do you see a flag, Zane? I don't see one.
I saw him throw one towards the sideline.
Oh, there it is. Another hold on Sumrall. This is getting ridiculous.
This is their third straight drive. It's been second in forever.
I would venture to say the yardage for Sumrall penalties is getting near 100 yards, if not already there. Accepted penalties anyway. 47 seconds left to go in the quarter, so the Bobcats might get another play or two off before the end of the quarter. Jackson being rushed, lofts this one toward the end zone looking for Barrett, and Barrett is there but catches the ball out of bounds down at about the 10-yard line. But the good news is there's no flag on the play. So it brings up a 3rd down and 10 with 31 seconds left to go in the third. Jamie, Grace, and Mama are watching the Quack Attack from Baytown, Texas tonight from the 623 area code. So here's 3rd down. Barrett goes in motion, but Dennis Jackson will run it himself. Tries to get to the outside. Will get some of it back. Gets dumped over there.
Is that not a flag right there? With Dennis Jackson being out of bounds over there, he continued to finish the tackle.
Well, I mean, you would think so, but again, from our vantage point, you don't really know exactly where he was out of bounds. In fact, he wasn't because the clock is running with 8 seconds, so this will be the end of the third quarter coming up. No scoring in the third. We go to the fourth, and we're exactly where we were at halftime. The Sumrall Bobcats 27, the Richton Rebels 14.
Seems like we've had the ball the whole third quarter.
That's what I'm saying, 20 yards down, then 10 yards back, then 5 yards forward, 15 yards back. The longest drive to net very few yards. But the Bobcats will have the football to begin the fourth quarter here. When you looked at the schedule, the way that things were going to shape up, this was going to be the most stern test going into the Pass Christian game. And, of course, they'll just get steadily tougher as time goes on. But a good chance for the Bobcats to get in better game shape, to get some injured players back, like my colleague, Zane Berry, tonight.
That's right, that's right.
And then, because the district games are the ones that count, that really count.
I'm ready to get back out there.
So you think they'll let you play when you come back?
You know, I'm gonna start. I'm not gonna practice full speed next week, but I'm gonna start practicing. Hopefully, I can work my way into full speed by the end of the week. And I don't know how much I'll play, but I want to play a little bit. But I'm going into Purvis, where I have a little game experience because I hadn't played since the second week. So I mean, get me back in the groove of things before the big game versus Purvis.
12 minutes left to go in this ball game as we begin the fourth quarter. Sumrall in no man's land, but has a 4th and 11 from the 32-yard line. Jackson wants to throw, does to the sideline, but overthrows Tyreek Preston down at the 20-yard line. And when Sumrall has an incompletion, there is no flag.
Seems about right.
So it'll go over on downs, and here comes the Rebel offense now. Devin Goolsby back in there. I saw Goolsby prior to the game still had some tape on that left shoulder, which has kind of been problematic for him throughout his career. But
I don't know if you can tell, he has a tape on his right arm too. He came out the game earlier and got it taped up. I don't know what happened there, but that's the reason why he sat out last week.
Coney out there is defensive back to the far side of the field as Favre and company get back to work on first down. They're going to hand it off, and they do to D.D. Griffin. Griffin bulldozing his way across the 40 up to about the 45-yard line, a gain of 13 on the play, and he lost his helmet, so he'll have to go out of the game. Nigel Coleman on the tackle for Sumrall. So up to the 45. Solomon Landrum there on that defensive front, getting some help there from Tate Davis now on the right end.
With our offense not clicking, our defense definitely needs a big stop right here.
Cole Daniels and Nick Eccles, the other guys, as those 4 down linemen for Sumrall. They run right into Nick Eccles, and backwards goes the ball carrier. Landrum was going to make sure that he didn't go anywhere. So a loss, but they'll say forward progress just at the line of scrimmage. So second down. 11 minutes, 3 seconds left to go in the ball game. Sumrall leading Richton 27-14. This will end theoretically a 3-game homestand for Sumrall, even though it only played 2 here. The Sacred Heart game was played over there. Pass across the middle. Favre was looking for Zach Mills cutting across the middle. Overthrew the intended receiver, incomplete. Stopping the clock with 10:47 left to go. It's a 3rd down and 10 for the Richton Rebels. Richton in Perry County. Actually, you know, Highway 42 goes through Sumrall, but it also goes through Richton.
Okay.
By way of Petal, but I mean...
I knew it went towards Petal.
They both have, so this is the Battle of Highway 42, whereas Sumrall and Purvis would be the Battle of 589. 3rd down and 10, bad snap, but then picked up.
The ball comes out again.
It is out again. And I think the Bobcats have it. It's Coney with the football. It was fumbled twice. And one of the Rebels down.
Looks like Zadarius Mitchell.
And boy, if they lose Mitchell, that would be a huge loss.
He's been limping all game.
A good player, man. He's a good one.
He is a good one. Fun to watch.
And Sumrall using some of its depth now to get some fresh legs in there. The Rebels are worn out.
They've had the same squad out there
all
game.
More of the Richton Rebels play on both sides of the ball than do Sumrall, so the Bobcats are a little more fresh. They lead it 27-14 with 10.5 minutes left to go in this ball game. Dennis Jackson at quarterback with twin receivers to the near side. He hands it off. That is Tyreek Preston. Preston right straight ahead following his blockers, getting down to the 35-yard line. And alert the media, no penalty flags. It's a Sumrall gain and no flag. And now, Zane, that the referees are on the other side, we can say stuff like that.
We can talk about the refs.
Right.
Last week we were a little restricted on what we could talk about.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know, there were just a lot of flags. So 1st and 10. Same play, nothing fancy, right straight ahead. Here comes a flag.
Take a guess what happened.
Tyreek Preston ahead for about a 3-yard gain. If they call holding on Sumrall, this fan base is going to go nuts. It is holding against Sumrall. Good heavens.
At this time, our line might as well just stand in front of them, not even put your hands on them.
That has to be frustrating as a lineman, too, to be called every single time for a hold. I mean, what do you do? The only thing you can do is just stand there and just try to get in the way.
Also, from experience, if you get the ball and you get a good game and they call a holding call, that's pretty frustrating, too.
And if you're Richton and want the football back, you're going, well, man, they can just keep holding and marching backwards and take time off the clock. Hand off to Preston. He got the yardage back and then some. Picked up about 12. Still not enough for the 1st down, as you see the chain gang along the far sideline there. Brings up a 2nd down and 9. Clock winding with 9:12 left to go here in the ball game. Sumrall leads Richton 27-14. This Bobcat football team trying to make history tonight. This is Cocroft. Cocroft cutting it inside down to about the 22.
What a surprise. No flags. And the 1st down on the same play.
It's gotten to the point where after a Sumrall gain, I'm looking around to see if a flag has been thrown.
See if the hanky's on the carpet.
And quickly the Bobcats want to get back to work. Low snap. Barrett has to pick it up and is able to get away. Barrett weaving to the outside finally is taken down at about the 20. Minimal gain on the play of about 2, but really, Zane, they were lucky to get anything on that play, a busted snap.
Lucky it wasn't a loss of 2 right there, because they near about wrapped Barrett up in the backfield.
So made something out of nothing. 2nd down and 7. 8 minutes, 14 seconds left to go. between the end of this ball game and this Sumrall football team, this edition, tying the school record for the best start in school history. Whistles blow and a penalty marker's down. This will be a false start against Sumrall.
Imagine that.
Well, it just, the thing too is it totally takes a team out of rhythm when there's either team. You know, when there's flag after flag after flag. And sometimes, and I'm just saying, if I was a referee, unless it's blatant, I'm not calling it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's high school football. Like, they're going to make mistakes.
Hand off to Tyreek Preston. Preston spins his way, does some dancing inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. And I think that is, if not a first down, very close to a first down. Sumrall trying to chew up some yardage and some clock at the same time. Some reinforcements coming in on the offensive line. Nick Eccles now. Is that Nick on the left side of the?
That is Nick Eccles. Big O.
On the left side of the line. They fake it to Preston. Now Dennis Jackson will run to the near side of the field and gets pushed out at about the 8-yard line. Stops the clock with 7:04 left to go. You can get kind of a glimpse of the scoreboard up there in the right-hand corner of your screen. So the chain gang gets to take a break here on a 1st and goal from the 8. Sumrall leading Richton 27-14. Glad that you're with us. You can always find Sumrall action on our YouTube channel, Sumrall Athletics.
Another flag. Timeout.
Timeout was called with 7:04 left to go, and another heat timeout will be coming your way. You know, Zane, you have to vote for the offensive and defensive player of the game coming up here.
I mean,
at the end of the game, sponsored by Dandy Dan Chevron in both Sumrall and Bellevue. And, of course, now as we get closer to October, the old pumpkin spice coffee is going to start coming back into vogue.
Yep.
And we'll start getting some cooler mornings, which will be certainly welcome. Dandy Dan's in Bellevue and Sumrall, the place to get that always fresh, always hot coffee.
So you can't pick somebody that's already been picked?
Well, you can, but they want to try to spread the wealth a little bit, you know?
All right, well, the two guys.
You're not eligible, Zane.
I know.
Okay, all right.
I wouldn't.
And don't tell me who you're going to vote for. I'm just saying you got to.
No, I was just going to say 2 of the guys that are my candidates have already been picked for the offensive. Because we really hadn't had our offense clicking in a while.
It's been quiet for both teams since the first half. Part of that, you'd have to think that the Rebels are worn down.
And all those penalty flags, it's hard to get anything going.
And the Bobcats have kind of gotten in their own way with those penalties. But they are getting to wear the powder blues tonight, the long-awaited arrival of the powder blues. John Failer, the center for this Sumrall team, has done a great job getting the ball to Dennis Jackson. On the sweep, it's Barrett, and he will not find anything as he is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage to about the 12-yard line. And it looked like Brennan Shaddles made the tackle over there on the defense for the Rebels with 6:45 left to go here in the 4th quarter. 2nd down and goal.
2nd down and goal for the Bobcats.
Jackson actually walking over here to the sideline. Now you see Dennis jaunting back to the huddle here. They might want to go to the air. 10 seconds left on the play clock on 2nd down, but they won't. They'll run it again. Tyreek Preston with a hole up the middle. Inside the 5 down to about the 3-yard line. So Preston with a nice run there. If nothing else, Sumrall has forged a friendship with this clock because it is a 2-score game.
They're bringing in the old heavy package right now.
Here's the beef. Ashanti Cocroft, Cole Daniels. This is a 3rd down and goal. This most certainly would clinch it. for the Rawcats if they could get it into the end zone, but now Sumrall has called a timeout.
Timeout, Bobcats.
They're watching in Port Arthur, Texas, from the 361 area code. More fans of the Quack Attack.
Quack Attack might have as many fans as I do.
Port Arthur, Texas. What famous rock and roll female singer was from Port Arthur, Texas?
You know, I know this one, but I'm just going to let you answer it.
Oh, good answer, Zane. And you know darn well you don't know the answer.
I don't know. Do you know the answer?
She was
All right, Bobcat fans, let's give it up for them Sumrall Bobcat cheerleaders.
Janis Joplin. You ever heard of Janis Joplin?
I can't say I have.
Okay. We are perilously close to the end of civilization as we know it, ladies and gentlemen, when the current generation has not heard of Janis Joplin. 3rd down and goal. The Bobcats with the beef in the backfield. Direct under center. Cocroft hands it off.
Quack
and
Attack.
It is the Quack Attack
Touchdown.
into the end zone. And the entire state of Texas is on its feet. So Carson Duck with his first touchdown of the year.
Number 29, Bryson Smith, in for the extra point attempt.
And you know what Carson will say to us? Well, how did I look going over the line? You know.
Uh-huh.
So now, Kerrigan Childs
Miles in for the extra point attempt.
looking to notch the extra point here. Kerrigan, of course, the only girl in Sumrall history to participate in a varsity football game and to score a point. Of course, so much was made of the Ocean Springs kicker this last week, who is also a girl. This kick is up, and it is no good. It is wide to the left. With 5:38 left to go in this football game,
38 remaining in the game.
it's the Sumrall Bobcats
Bobcats 33.
33
Rebels 14.
and the Rebels 14. From the 361, somebody texted in and said, I knew it was Janis Joplin. Uncle Ernie checking back in.
Uh-oh.
Hashtag let's go tweeter. And Uncle Ernie, a shout out to Tate Davis, said, I see you, Tate Davis. Well, he's going to be a good one, isn't he?
He is.
Already. 5:38 to go.
Oh, that's my fault. You know, I didn't have this job last week.
I know, but you're doing a great job, Zane. You really are.
I mean, it's a little tough.
The Sumrall Bobcat uniform is a lot like the San Diego Chargers. You know how the have we gone over that? How the Chargers got their names? How they got the name of the Chargers?
You have told me that.
The San Diego Chargers, the man who originally owned that team, founded Master Charge credit card. So it had nothing to do with electricity, but rather like a charge card. So that's how they got their name, the Chargers. The Rebels have it, and gobbled up as Zadarius Mitchell for no gain. A lot of the Rebels are just simply out of gas here.
Mitchell on the return.
He was tackled by James Ford, the freshman phenom for Sumrall. With 5:31 left to go in the ball game, the Bobcats have it in hand here, 33-14. But the starting defensive unit for Sumrall is still in there.
Zadarius Mitchell back out there after leaving the game earlier with an injury.
And he's running on empty. Matthew Cronin will come into the ball game. Cronin is a senior, playing in the secondary there. Favre at quarterback, Dylan Favre. Handing it off, but running into a blue wall right there. No gain on the play for D.D. Griffin. He got smoked. So D.D. Griffin, nowhere to go. And a heat timeout is on the field.
I thought we already had one.
Well, I'm not sure who's been charged with timeouts, but that one, the heat timeout usually does come between 6 and 5 minutes left to go in the quarter. And of course, the purpose of the heat attack, the heat timeout rather, is to make sure that the guys get hydrated in the heat and humidity. Poplarville looked like it was on its way to a big win, 41-0 at halftime. Poplarville was clobbering Heidelberg 41-0 at last report. West Marion leading Forest County 38-19. Greene County 28, the Long Beach Bearcats 7. That is in the third quarter in Leakesville. Mendenhall 22, Purvis 8. That is in the fourth quarter over in Purvis. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Primerica Financial Services, Mike Landrum and Associates. 5 minutes, 17 seconds left to go in this one, a game that the Bobcats have in hand, but the defense now on the field on a 2nd down and 10. And the Bobcats jump. A hard count there by Favre.
Hate to say it, but that'll be another penalty flag on the Bobcats.
It's against Sumrall.
It's against the Bobcats.
Which that one is understandable.
Yeah, that hard count, that's a good way to get an easy 5. But as a defensive lineman, you're taught not just to listen, but to watch for the football.
Explode off the ball, too.
Favre will run this one himself. And another penalty marker down. I think this is going to be a face mask on Sumrall. Because I saw
his head jerk a little bit.
As Favre went to the right side of the Sumrall line, one of the Bobcats got their paw up there and got it stuck in the face cage and spun his head around a little bit. So this is going to go against the good guys as well. A lot of penalties tonight for Sumrall. And it has not cost them the ball game. 33-14.
Seems just like that Wesson game.
And it is a face mask against Sumrall, but again, we called that one from up here. So
Face mask against the Bobcats.
boy, I don't know how many penalty yards tonight against Sumrall. It's got to be well over 100. I mean, a ton of flags. But Sumrall leads at 33-14. You know, coaches sometimes they'll get frustrated. They'll say, yeah, we got the win, but we have so much to work on. That was such a lousy performance. You know, I mean, got the W.
Yep.
And I'm not suggesting that it's been a lousy performance from Sumrall. I'm just saying that anytime you rack up over 100 yards of penalty yards, certainly something to work on in practice. Favre, after the snap, throws it down the field. He overthrows everybody by a good 10 or 15 yards. Zadarius Mitchell was the intended receiver, and I'm sure Mitchell at this point is probably saying, man, don't throw it to me 25 yards down the field because now I got to come back to the huddle. And he is in no hurry to get back to that huddle. Zadarius Mitchell worn out. Here comes Tate Davis for some defensive reinforcement for Sumrall. And Nick Eccles off the field for Sumrall now. With 4:06 left to go in the game, Sumrall 33, Richton 14. Kelly Sander with Zane Berry with you here on our Sumrall Athletic YouTube channel. Straight run by Favre, trying to stretch out the Sumrall defense, runs right into the quack attack. And here's another flag. They're going to call this on Sumrall as a late hit. I can't believe that they threw that flag. Because the only reason I say that is because a couple of Sumrall players who were tackled outside the sideline were not flagged, but Sumrall does it. And another penalty.
Face mask?
I didn't see a face mask. If they'd have thrown the flag, it would have been for tackling him. But they did call a face mask. So 3:47 left to go. Clock is moving. Second and three after the spot foul. Favre hands it off to Griffin.
21, Diddy Griffin on the carry.
He was tripped up there by Devin Goolsby.
D.D. Griffin's still running like he has a little gas in the tank.
Man, you talk about being in condition. My heart goes out to a lot of these 1A, 2A schools where the guys, just because of the limited numbers, they've got to play on both sides of the ball. Man, you talk about conditioning being key.
Especially playing a team like us who who we swap players every other drive, and they're having to compete.
Always good to have those fresh legs in the lineup. First down, a fresh set of downs for the Rebels. Favre goes back, tries to loft this one down the field. It is complete. Coney, I thought, might have been up to go up and get the interception. Looks like the receiver's cramping up at about the 17-yard line.
Impressive catch.
It sure was. 2:57 left on the clock. And he couldn't even get back to the bench. He just got to the sideline. Yeah, he's cramping up over there. 2:48. The clock is moving. 14 seconds left on the play clock. The Rebels don't look like they're in any hurry to get up to the.
Sure, they'll
or are they going to start the time clock again?
Oh, they started the time clock. We restarted it.
Now timeout for Richton.
Timeout, Rebels.
Seems like there's been an exorbitant amount of timeouts tonight too, right?
A little more than usual.
So the Bobcat defense will talk it over with 2:38 left to go. Sumrall on the verge of going 5-0 for the first time in a generation.
Unless something crazy happens, it's looking good for him right now.
A generation is considered 25 years. So if the last time Sumrall went 5-0 was 1988, and this being 2018, that's 30 years when a young upstart coach by the name of Neville Barr was the head coach at Sumrall.
He sure did make a legacy of his football coaching career.
And that staff that he had that featured Tim Helt, Bob Bird.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Herbert Hoover High School in Des Moines, Iowa.
Why were you at the Sumrall game when they played in the playoffs that year?
Because I'm that old, Zane.
No, were you in high school at the time?
No, I was working for Channel 7. Handoff to Favre. He gets around left end and looks like he was wrestled to the ground there by Fairman at about the 14-yard line. Yeah, I was the old sports guy at Channel 7 back in the day. I was Mitch Williams before Mitch Williams was Mitch Williams.
You didn't tell me that. I had no idea.
You really didn't?
No idea.
Well,
I was wondering
your grandparents should have told you that. 2:15 left to go. Favre and company. Favre wants to roll to his right. Can't find anybody. Now goes right up the middle.
And another penalty flag.
A penalty marker down at the 15-yard line. Guys, the game is over. Put the flags away. And the Rebels are clapping. Has any flag been against Richton?
I think they might have had one flag
this
tonight.
half. That drive in the third quarter, Sumrall gobbled up most of the clock, but didn't get any yardage because of the penalties.
It seems like it's been vice versa.
It's a personal foul against Sumrall.
Personal foul against the Bobcats.
Man, oh man.
I just heard somebody in the stand say that flag was for excessive tackling.
Excessive tackling.
I believe that's a call after tonight.
It's been a long time, and obviously we're joking about it, but I've been around a while and have not seen this many flags thrown on one team in a game. Still second down for Richton. Favre wants to throw, does across the middle, and guess what? A penalty flag.
Penalty marker on the play.
Let's hope it's a hold.
But are they going to call it against Sumrall? Because the Rebels think they've scored a touchdown. You can tell by their body language. A personal foul against Sumrall. You have got to be kidding me.
How about that?
Personal foul against the Bobcats.
Let's hope these referees never come back to Sumrall. Hope they don't watch this after the game. I mean, but this is ridiculous.
Every single play, Sumrall has been flagged on.
Touchdown Rebels.
They'll enforce the yardage on the kickoff.
Number 3 on the touchdown pass.
Connor Graham. So just when you think it's a hold on Richton, it's a personal foul on Sumrall.
Seems like the Bobcats have had a target on their back all night.
When the official statistics of this game are published, I'd like to know how many yards Sumrall has been penalized tonight. Kick is no good, and there's no flag, so they can't re-kick it. Sumrall 33, Richton 20, with 1:45 left to go in the game. So it's still a 2-score affair here. You figure if the Bobcats can notch 1 first down, that would be enough to put it away with 1:45 left to go. Sumrall would retain its lead in District 7 4A with an undefeated record. Poplarville on a roll, but the Hornets lost their first game of the year. It was against Picayune, who's a really strong 5A team. But Wolfman, are you trying to find out? Do we have a calculator? Sorry? That's all?
Just on offense. Our defense.
Just the Sumrall offense has been penalized 100 yards. That's obviously not even mentioning the defense. And incredibly, Sumrall leads this game, 33-20. The Rebels will get this yardage now tacked on for the kickoff, and it goes into the end zone. So Sumrall will start 1st and 10 now. And it's 1:45 away from tying school history. Years ago, when a lot of these guys, including Zane Berry, were in the 5th grade, even other communities in Lamar County, they'd say this 5th grade class at Sumrall, wait for them to grow up. Wait for this team to get on up there in years.
I'd really like to see our offense score one more time.
Well, it'll get called back.
You're right.
So,
we might as well just knee it.
unless there's a penalty for
grounding.
that. Yes, there you go. Intentional knee.
They'll come up with something.
1:45 left to go. Jackson gives it to Tyreek Preston with the towel hanging out of the back pocket there. Gets across the 30 to about the 32-yard line, and no penalty marker on the play.
That's just as impressive as the run.
Amazing. Poplarville, a final score, Poplarville has defeated Heidelberg 55-7. So the Hornets, with the Stingers out again tonight, garner another win 55-7 over the Heidelberg Oilers. There's a gain of about 2. The Bobcats will be content to just try to run this clock out.
Out of 5 games so far, the Sumrall Bobcats have played, this is the second one they've stayed in the entire time.
The starting unit. And, of course, Richton, just the players being physically worn out and out of gas, they won't even try to stop the clock with timeouts here, it being a 2-score game. 33-20, 45 seconds left to go in the game. If they throw another flag, I'm going down there on the field. 38 seconds.
All right, Kelly.
Dennis Jackson takes the knee. Zane, good to have you again, man. We'd love to see you back in the lineup.
You want me to tell you my players of the game?
Oh, no, you have to write them down.
All right, I'll write them down.
Hang on here. Secret ballot. Always a secret ballot in America, as we will be naming our offensive and defensive players of the game. 20 seconds left to go. They do not have to snap it again. And the Bobcat coaching staff are telling the players, don't snap it again. They'll wave another flag. Throw another flag.
And that's the ball game. Your final score. Sumrall Bobcats 33, the Richton Rebels 20. Sumrall High School.
So that is the final tonight.
Lamar County Sheriff's Department asks that you drive safe.
Sumrall 30, or check that, 33. 33 for the Sumrall Bobcats, 20 for the Richton Rebels. Richton, with the loss tonight, drops its record to 3-2. Sumrall in the record books now, 5-0 on the year, the first time since 1988 and only the second time in school history that Sumrall has started out 5-0. A lot of penalties tonight, and there will be things that the Bobcats will want to work on, but they come up with a victory, and that's what the coaches will tell you is what they try to get done. Time for the post-game show. Hattiesburg Clinic's Children's Clinic is committed to the care and well-being of your child from birth to adolescence. Children's Clinic is open daily and offers immunizations, monitors your child's growth and development, and treats a wide range of childhood illness. Call 601-261-3500 to schedule an appointment, or for more information, hattiesburgclinic.com. Children's Clinic, Hattiesburg Clinic, care you need for the children you love. And a special Bobcat shout-out to Dr. April Gilmore, who when she was a student at Sumrall High School was April McGilvery, sponsor of the post-game show. The student body now being allowed to come onto the field. You see them emerge from the right side of your screen to cheer on the good guys after a Sumrall 33-20 win over the Richton Rebels tonight. Time for the offensive and defensive players of the game to be named, brought to you by Dandy Dan's Chevron in both Bellevue and Sumrall. The Sumrall location right across from the school, and Bellevue very close to Highway 98. The one on 98 open at 5 a.m. with all kinds of fresh coffees that are always hot, and the ice drinks are always cold. Our friends at Dandy Dan's Chevron, proud to support Sumrall Bobcat football and all area high schools. Dennis Jackson named with the offensive player of the game, his second time this year that he has won that award. And on the defensive side, Nick Eccles, or Nick Otis, who also actually played some offense tonight on the left side of that line. So helping the team in more ways than one. Congratulations to Dennis Jackson and Big O, Nick Otis, for their award-winning performances.
Kelly,
tonight.
I got Dennis Jackson.
Good. Let's get DJ. We're going to go down on the field and get to talk to DJ here. Dennis, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Tell me about this this game tonight. Got a little bit sloppy there in the second half. What was up with all the penalties? What were all the personal fouls about?
I mean, a lot of holding calls, but like, we don't know for sure if all of them were holding calls. We didn't get to see it, from the sideline coaches. But I mean, all we can do is go back and correct it Monday.
Yeah, from what you saw on film from this Richton team, how much were they like the film and how much did they differ?
At times, defensive-wise, at times they play real good. Other times, they're not as good.
Of course, a big win tonight. It means that you guys are now in the school record books 5-0, the first starts of that since 1988, when obviously you weren't even alive. What does it mean now to be 5-0 and to be in the school history books? Still got some work to do, but what about it?
I mean, it means a lot. It means a lot. We're not done yet. We just got to keep working hard and get to where we want to be.
All right, Dennis Jackson, continued success. You were the Dandy Dan's Chevron Offensive Player of the Game tonight for your performance, buddy. Congratulations.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
see you
Yes,
soon.
sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Dennis Jackson, his Ole
He
Miss.
also got Big O the second.
Okay, Big O, the defensive player of the game. By the way, Dennis, of course, committed to Ole Miss, and they are playing Alabama tomorrow. So good luck to the Rebels. That's a 6 o'clock start up in Oxford. So a big win tonight for Sumrall, hoping that the Rebels can come up with a big win tomorrow night. Again, that's a 6 o'clock start. Ole Miss against Alabama. Mississippi State playing against Louisiana Lafayette. That is a 6:30 start. And the Southern Miss game, of course, was canceled. They were supposed to be in Boone, North Carolina, but because of all the rain associated with Hurricane Florence, that game has been canceled. Big O, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man, tell me about the defensive effort tonight. You got to play a little bit of offense too, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell me, what Richton offensively, what sort of problems did you expect them to present, and did they tonight?
Oh, yes, sir. Around the edges, they were just fast, and we just had to execute and stop the run.
Things got a little bit messy there toward the second half of the game. A lot of penalty flags. There are a lot of personal fouls. What were the personal fouls for? Were you privy to anything that the referee said?
Oh, no, sir.
So it was just personal fouls. We just didn't know necessarily what they were for. You guys now in the school record books. I asked DJ. I'll ask you as well. 30 years it's been since the Sumrall team has started out 5-0. What's the team morale like now, knowing that you guys might have something special going on here?
It's a good environment, you know. It's going to be a whole different things going to happen different around Sumrall now. So
the expectations have changed, haven't they?
Yes, sir.
All right, Nick, congratulations. You were the Dandy Dan's Chevron Defensive Player of the Game for your efforts tonight. Really, really seeking out the football like a missile there, particularly in the first half. Even got in on the offensive line. Continued success, buddy, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Big Nick Otis, the Defensive Player of the Game for the Sumrall Bobcats. Dennis Jackson, the Offensive Player of the Game. As you see the guys gathering and meeting with family members and fans at midfield. That'll do it tonight from Lions Field here in Sumrall. Again, the final score, the Sumrall Bobcats 33, the Richton Rebels 20. The Bobcats will take to the road next week. The longest road trip of the year. They head to Pass Christian, and then all the pre-district games are over, and the games that count begin, and those are the games in Region 7-4A, where Poplarville was a winner tonight. Greene County looked like it was on its way to a win. Lawrence County got started late with Franklin County, but Forest County AHS was going down to defeat, and it appears that Purvis was also going to be beaten tonight. But again, the games that count are coming up. Those are the ones in Region 7-4A, and those games will begin in a couple of weeks. The final again from Lions Field, Sumrall 33, Richton 20. Sumrall, for the first time in 30 years, is 5-0. For producer Jeremy Thompson and color analyst Zane Berry, I'm Kelly Sander. Thanks for joining us. You've been watching Sumrall Bobcat football on YouTube.